Ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. Yeah, we Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her. We Rick flaring on her, flaring on her.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring on him, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Martin Luther King Day, okay? Okay, happy Martin Luther King Day. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? On this glorious Monday. All right. First and foremost, make sure you like the stream. Let's not play this game. All right. Let's go ahead. The like police is never too far. Never too far. All right. Now, just in honor of what is going on today and what it is today, I just thought that it would be best if we start this on a very high note, shall we? Let's start this on a high note, shall we? So okay. I wanted to at least start it off the right way, okay? Because everybody be like, Scotty don't know nothing about Black history. He don't like Black people. So I might as well start it off the right way, okay? On this glorious MLK Day, let's. The least I can do is that, okay? It's the least I can do. I'll take the copyright here. It's okay. Shout out to Dr. King. Shout out to everything he's done for us as a community, as a people. You know what I'm saying? I love Malcolm X. I'm more of a Malcolm X type of guy. But you cannot discount what Dr. King is and has done for us as a people. So gotta start it off there. Right? Gotta start it off there. Wouldn't be right if I didn't start it off there. Okay? On this glorious Martin Luther King Day. All right. So now, on this same Martin Luther King Day, there has been some Black foolishness going on in these streets, boy. It ain't even FAMU this time. It ain't even FAMU foolishness. It's some more Black people doing a little diabolical stuff. All right, so listen, before I go anywhere else, all right, before I touch on anything, listen, man, I gotta give a PSA to these Bamas. And I want y'all, I want y'all to come in real close, right? Jackson State fans. If you fix your face, you know how Black mamas don't fix your face to say not a damn word, okay? You are the girl that just got out of a guy cheating on you, and you trying to act like you know you all high and mighty now. You trying to act like you know what's going on, and you don't know a damn thing. You should be the last people talking, because when you was in that relationship and everybody else around you was like, hey girl, hey, it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. He ain't committed to you. He ain't about to marry you. And you was all, oh my God, I found the one. He's it. This is it for me. I'm not going. He's here. We're committed to each other. And Bama's kept telling y'all, no. So you, out of all people, should not fix your mouth to say anything about another man's relationship. If anything, you should only be the counsel to Bethune. You should tell, but I know what you're going through. I feel you. I understand you. Okay. I just want to make that very clear. And the next Jackson State person that calls into my line on some foolishness, I ain't got no way.
Shut the fuck. Shut. No. Oh shit. Say it again. Say something else. Oh. Say something else. Say something else, nigga.
Say something else. Say something else. Whoa! I swear to God. Say something else. Shut up. Shut up. Okay? And this is my example. This is what people on Jackson State doing. Nope. Contract canceled, effective immediately. Furthermore, sir, your team hasn't even played a damn down and you're over bumping your gums. Audacity. Your coach, stay in your lane. I ain't got no way.
Shut the fuck. Shut. No. Oh. Say it again. Say something else. Oh. Say something else. Say something else, nigga.
Shut up. That's my PSA to all the Jackson State fans. Shut up. Don't say a word. Don't say a mumbling word. And I'm not even going to go real deep like I really wanted to. All right. But you know who they are. So if you so happen to slide on their channels and they have the audacity to, I'm telling y'all right now, listen to me very closely. I know I'm getting off topic, but it's off script. Shut up. Roll with me. Let me say this. The channels that you know I'm talking about, that you know, yes. Okay. I ain't gotta say nothing else. Let them come sideways. I'm pulling receipts. I already got the YouTube clips. I got them already cut up. There's nothing you can unlist. There's nothing you can hide. I already got the receipts. I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. All right. So all the channel, every Jackson State channel you think, okay, I already got the receipts. So if they want to start that, we can start that. I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready. So I just want to be very clear. Let's go. I'm ready. I stay ready. Stay strapped. All right. You had the nerve to say it. I got the nerve to clip it. I'm that guy. All right. So you already know what's been going on in these streets. Ed Reed, we're going to get right into it. We're going to jump right into it. If you haven't seen the video, I got the full clip. All right. Part 1 and part 2. I think there's a part 3. I ain't got that, but I got part 1 and part 2. Here we go.
Prime was not wrong about what he was saying. All y'all out there with y'all opinions, full of crap, don't know shit. But needless to say, I just pulled up to work. We're gonna try to help y'all too, man, because I know a lot of HBCUs need help. I'm just here to help here first. I see it all too clearly. All our HBCUs need help. And they need help because of the people who's running it. It's broken mentalities out here. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. I gotta get in the office.
All right, so that's part 1 that everybody saw, that everybody jumped on, and everybody got loose and got down on that. Let's really break this thing apart, because you know me, right? Hey, y'all heard it. Ain't makes no difference. Hey, what you're going through. I love that song. All right. Get ready for your blessing. Okay, anyway, for your miracle. All right, so let's really break this thing all the way down, right? And I'm a believer of this. And it's something my mom has taught me and things like that. If it lands at your door, then you're guilty, right? Like, I get it, right? And I love what Josh on HBCU, I love what he says about when you use that word HBCU, right? And you try to group us all together, he's going to come for you, which is understandable. But I'm under the mindset as well as if it lands at your door, it don't land at everybody's door. I'll say this. Does every HBCU have a financial problem? No. Do they have an issue? Yes. Okay. Spelman didn't have AC. Morehouse has a jailhouse. Howard Athletics is god awful, right? The athletic is god awful. So you might not have a financial issue. You might not have the same issue as Bethune, but 9 times out of 10, can we all just agree most HBCUs have issues? Why? Because they've been underfunded. So that is not a lie. It might not be specifically your HBCU's issue. It might be something else, right? But there are things that are wrong at your said institution, like everybody else, and like PWIs, right? There's a lot of PWIs have problems too. So I'm not excluding it, but we're staying on HBCUs. So that's the first thing, right? Now let's say this. This is the part where I had to kind of differ. He says there's a broken mentality. Is it true? Yes. Does it apply to everyone? No. It does not apply to everyone. Is there a broken mentality in administration? Absolutely. You want to know how I know? Let's start here. And I listen, I love Coach Eddie Robb. I think he's a great coach. I think Alabama State did right. But was the hire right? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You listen, you can say whatever you want. Hindsight is 2020 that he's actually say he went 6-5. Congratulations. But the hire was pure nepotism. It was pure nepotism. That is what Alabama State did was pure nepotism. A guy that never coached, has no resources like that, right? Pure nepotism, right? Now you go into a situation where, who else can we go to? Who else? Southern. Pure nepotism. Now you can get on the, oh my God, Eric Dooley, he brought us to a SWAC championship. Bro, Eric Dooley was not the best man for that job. Okay, can we just say that? Let me say that. I can say that. I'm gonna say it. All right. So it's that. There are broken mentalities. I'll give you another broken mentality, right? Why is it that I can't pay for card at certain institutions? Why can't I go to an institution's place and play with card? Why does everything have to be in cash, right? You know, like it's not saying broken. Listen, I want to be very, it's not saying broken like a broke mind, like a broken mentality is that it needs to be fixed. It needs to be changed. It needs to be warped, right? It needs to be repositioned, right? So granted, got it, good. It's not always, when people jump to conclusions of a broke mentality or broken mentality, it doesn't always mean money. All right. It doesn't always mean money. It can be how you facilitate. It can be the lack of ingenuity, the lack of innovation, the lack of getting a council together to make better decisions. Like you said, technology, it can be different. It can be different ways of a broken mentality, right? A broken system. So it doesn't always have to go back to finances. That's why I want people to see, when you limit yourself into finances, you'll be like, well, I'm not broke. I got money. And we as black people, we love to stunt. Money ain't my problem. Money. What's that Dave Chappelle? Hide your money. There's broke people around, right? That's how HBCUs, when you talk about broke, the first thing they want to bring up is checkbooks. Oh, well, my endowment says, well, I get this and I got this, right? No, it's not. When he says broken, it doesn't always mean to finances. It means management of people, management of funds, management of innovation. How do you get alumni involved? How do you grow with the times? How do you move with technology? All those things come into a broken mentality. So you got to stop looking at it in like a horse with those blinders on, where you're just like, we're not broke. Okay, that's great. But I know you have some faults. I know you're not perfect, which nobody is. So it does stamp on you, right? Now, let me say this. Let's go back to the beginning of what he said. He says, and I'll play it for you guys. So,
Prime was not wrong.
okay. Once you say this, Prime primed him for this job. I'm going to say it again. Deion Sanders, Jackson State's ex, who they're still not over, primed Ed Reed for this job. And Scotty, what do you mean by that? Let me explain. I'll give a good example, right? Everybody know me and Mr. Campbell, that's my guy, right? So Mr. Campbell's like, yo, Scotty, I'm going to bring you on to Dale, right? I got a job at Dale, I'm going to bring you on. I'm like, okay, cool, appreciate that. Priming means this. Hey, man, listen, the supervisor, nah, he ain't that guy, man. Don't talk to him. Hey, the ladies in reception, hey, they real nice. Treat them good. The food in the cafeteria, hey, it ain't that good. That fried chicken Wednesdays, don't taste that, all right? Now, they might play with your money. Hey, make sure you go in asking for this. That is priming somebody. That is priming. Why? So when I step into the building, I'm already on high alert. I am already on, my antennas are shot straight up, and I'm looking for everything wrong or everything Mr. Campbell told me what was going to be a problem, right? So I'm looking, I'm hunting. That is what Dion did to Ed. He primed him. Hey, man, I was going through this. I had this issue. I had that issue. I had this issue. Good, bad, or indifferent. When you start the conversation off with Prime was not wrong, well, you only got it from Prime's perspective. You only got it from Prime's perspective. So anything Bethune did that matched what Prime told you, you was going to be like, see, there you go right there. Prime was right. See, there you go. There you go. See, Prime wasn't even lying. See, they trying to come for my man. Prime ain't. That's the kind of energy you get when somebody is primed, right? Just if you're talking to girls, ladies, all the ladies in the chat, if a girl tells you about a guy, oh, he's a dog, he's a cheater, he's this, he's that, you're going to go into the mindset, you're looking for everything. He don't answer his phone, he don't text back, he don't do that. Oh, yep, she was right. Girl, he was right. See, she was right. He ain't no good. He ain't no good. That's what Dion did to Ed. So he already had it locked in that anything out of sorts was going to be a problem. All right. So that's my little breakdown of that front half. It wasn't the worst part, listen, I also got to say this. He does say in that half, he said
about what he was saying.
Working on the front of
the in a half.
I want y'all to listen what Ed Reed says right here.
I hope y'all be blessed out there. 336, I see you, my bro. About to pull up in the office, bro. I got to get out here. My guys already out here working. I've been here for a week and a half. I've been here for a week and a half and have done more than people that have been here in freaking years.
That's an indictment on Bethune. That's an indictment on Bethune, right? But being me, you got to see it on both sides. There's resources that Ed has that Bethune is not privy of. There's back channels that Ed has that Bethune isn't privy of. But is there also people at Bethune that should not be at Bethune who are hindering Bethune? Absolutely. Two things can be true. Is it possible that Ed Reed being there a week and a half has made steps back? Man, listen, I'm sorry. It goes back to Jackson State's ex. Dion probably did more for Jackson State in those 3 years, 2.5, right? Let's take out the new locker room renovation because everybody says it was already on the books, so I won't give that to Dion. But the practice field, I'll give it to Dion. The luxury seating, the prime seats, freaking genius. I'll give that to Dion. All the media and social media uptick, I'll give it to Dion. All the marketing, giving it to Dion. Let's not, listen, man. You might have broke up with a chick, but you can never deny if a chick upgraded you. And Dion upgraded Jackson. Period. Upgraded. What's that Beyonce song? Let me upgrade you. Okay. What's higher than one? Okay. Then he upgrades you. So you can't deny the fact that he did. And he upgraded everybody in the SWAC. And the reason he upgraded them is because mentality-wise, you had to upgrade. Mentality-wise, you had to upgrade. Let's not play this game. Let's not act like everything was about football when Dion stepped on the scene, because it wasn't. So, to each his own. All right? So, Let's go to the second half of Ed Reed in his tape.
Profit muscle.
You want to change. You want change around here.
You saw the front of the building.
Terrible.
This the back of the building. They working on the front of the building. This the same people said, we gonna help you build what you want. How I'm gonna believe you, man? How I'm gonna believe them? Didn't I tell you I don't trust nobody? I'm coming over giving them the same passion and they smiling and laughing in my face. This ain't funny. We gonna ride through the fence that they ain't fixed the fence. We about to ride through this fence. This ain't even football side. This ain't even the football side. And y'all talking about Madden at my Uncle Prime. Y'all mad at Dion, mad at Prime. This shit is every HBCU.
Okay. It goes more. We're going to dive into it a little deeper. Let's chop this thing up, right? Let's chop this thing up. So, I'll say this. Ed Reed's tact is not the same as Dion's, right? Ed Reed does not move with the same tact as Dion. Dion will smile. Dion will laugh. Dion will joke with you while he's stabbing you, while he's hitting you with darts. Dion's gonna laugh and chop it up, and baby. Hey, baby. Listen. Now I seen a fence, baby, earlier today, baby, and I just wanted to know who was gonna fix it. You know, I asked around. I said, who was gonna fix it? Because there's some people out here doing their job, but they just can't seem to get the fence right, baby. It's a difference. It's a difference in tact, right? So while somebody is sweet talking you while feeding you truth, Ed says, F all that. This junk is effed up. Ed says, bump all this. It's effed up. It is effed up. Right? So that's one. Two, once again, to me, and this is me, Bethune Cookman has to, listen, bro. Okay, let me say this. Guys, right? And you're going to, listen, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it transparent with you, right? If a guy is trying to holler at a chick that he feels is above his league, it's either one or two things he does. He either lies he omits. I won't say he lies. He omits, or he's fully transparent. Okay? Those are the only two ways, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a girl that's out your league. You're going to admit some things like, you tell her you got one baby mama, but you really got 3. You know what I'm saying? So, and you try to connive her, and then you make her get with you, and then you're like, I got you now. You like me, so you ain't going nowhere, right? I feel as though Bethune did the omitting. They omitted some stuff when they should have been fully transparent with Ed. Like this, man, look. Keep it a buck. Hey, Ed, listen, man. Listen, bro. We just had 2 hurricanes. We ain't got this. We ain't got this. We ain't got this. We ain't got this. What can you do to help us? What can you do to help us? Just be straight up. Just be straight up. You know what I'm saying? And I once again, should Ed have done it that way? No. Was that not professional? No. But, right? He still had some truth in what he was saying. He's literally videotaping. He's videotaping him going through a process. And you can't disparage his words and say, oh, he don't know what he's talking about when he said, they told him, he says it in the video. They told him they was going to do it. Or you say, hey, people in passing, they laughing in my face, ha ha. Do what you said you was going to do. Do what you said you was going to do, right? Should he have done his own due diligence? Absolutely. My mom always says you never leave somebody, you never have somebody over your, like holding something over your head, right? You make sure you hit all angles and corners, and that is on Ed Reed. Once again, the contract is not officially signed, so he can always dip or he can always add to it, whatever. But should he have done his due diligence? Absolutely. You got to go into Bethune's situation and say, hey, what's going on with this Bethune situation? Why should you have done that? Because you've been talking to Prime. And if your Uncle Prime did not tell you to look at the books, to look at the stuff, to look at the facilities, to assess what you needed to get done before you accepted the job, then that is on you and Uncle Prime. If he's priming you for everything else, he should have primed you on how to do your books correctly or how to make a correct assumption. Because mind you, remember this, Prime had Barstool behind him, right? So he had a whole corporation behind him pushing the Prime brand, pushing the entity of what he was trying to do, right? So anything he probably couldn't do, he had Smack Entertainment and he had Barstool. Those two combined form the Wonder Twins. Okay? When our powers combine, I am Captain Planet type mess, right? So you got to understand. So does Ed Reed have that? Probably not. Does he need to find it? Quickly. Quickly. He needs to get with an Amazon. He needs to get with a YouTube. He needs to get with a Hulu and do a Hard Knocks version of Bethune. He needs that production money behind him. Why? Because that's money that he doesn't have to keep. He can funnel it through the program. He gets a production deal. He gets that money, $300,000, $500,000, kind of like selling a book deal, and push that money through the program. All right, let's continue on with what Ed said.
Bro, we riding through the fence. This is track, bro. This is track. This is what they practice on. It's a straightaway. This is intramural field. You can't practice on this. These kids got this to work with. Trash. Yeah, I'm showing it. At this point, I gotta show this shit.
Hey, let's not act like Dion didn't do that on the Coach Prime season 1. Let's not act like Coach Prime literally did not do this on Coach Prime season 1 when he walked around the Jackson State field and the divots and the old equipment and all that. Once again, tactfully, not this way, tactfully. I just want to be very clear. Let's not act like he didn't do the same thing.
I'm not even the head coach.
You right, don't trust nobody.
Congratulations. Man, I should go my ass home. I said I should. I ain't. It ain't happening. Because of that lady right there. Because of her right there.
Now, listen, but when I play this clip, a lot of Bethune people and some FAMUans got upset with what came next, right? So what's the little disclaimer? These are not the views of Offscript, as well as if you don't like explicit material, please cover your ears, right? This is like an HBCU explicit type of thing, all right? So it's not like he's cussing up a storm, but for like HBCU ears, it really bleeds them. So if you're an HBCU diehard, make sure you cover your ears at this point, okay? I just want to say that. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Miss Mary, you see her with the cane? Coach Kane. That's what you call me. Coach Kane is who I am. Don't cry. Do something. Y'all see these buildings right here? You see these buildings right here? Y'all see these buildings right here? This corner. Y'all see this right here? This here? This shit is abandoned right here. They're hoarding trash in this shit. All this right here is trash. From this corner all the way right here.
Okay, let me say something about the Dr. Mary Bethune. I'm not even going to touch that. If you want to call in and talk about that, you're most happy to do so. Let me say this, and I'm going to open the call lines up. That building and him pointing at it is the example of not knowing. You know what you get mad about stuff is when you don't know it, right? So if you go to your homeboy's house and he tells you, hey, man, listen, let me open these call lines up.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
If you go to your homeboy's house, right? When you was growing up and all that type of stuff, you go to your homeboy's house and he tells you he has roaches, you can kind of prepare yourself. You ain't going to like it, but you going to prepare yourself. I've seen roaches, hey, man, you my guy, man. Okay, cool, whatever. I ain't tripping off that, da-da-da-da-da. But if your homeboy don't tell you he has roaches, you gonna be pissed as hell that you done walked into this nasty ass house and you got roaches. You see what I'm saying? When you have the time to prepare your mind for a situation, you can kind of be like, damn, it sucks, but okay. Right? But when you don't know and you walk into it because nobody told you and you see a building full of trash, not telling you, hey, man, listen, we just had a hurricane. We're using these buildings for trash. You know what I'm saying? Ed could be like, okay, cool. All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. But when you don't know, you walk in and you see nothing but trash. You're like, what the hell is this? On top of everything else, you're pissed. Okay? You're pissed. So that's just my little point of view. As callers call in, I'll throw it back to and we can have the discussion. But it is what it is, man. Call lines are open 518-263-8121, 8124, 518-263-8124. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Dre, Monty, David. That's where I'm going. My first three callers. Dre, Monty, then David. All right, Dre, you up.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
I really didn't have a problem. I think you're right. Prime did. He probably talked to Prime, and Prime probably gave him his perspective. The one thing about video, it allows you to see, because us black people like to be like, oh, it's not that bad. You wouldn't have known Jefferson practice still wasn't that bad.
Come on.
Unless you show video.
Come on.
So, even when you interviewed him, you said, well, you got to be Tyler Perry. You got to produce it. You got to write it. You got to act it. So even though he probably told him that, until he stepped foot on the Bethune campus, he was like, ain't no way. Like, he probably thought Prime was probably embellishing, like, ain't no way.
Yeah.
And he gets on campus, it's almost like, okay, both of us are former military guys. Both of our parents served. And you probably ask your mom, well, how was it? And you probably like, yeah, put on a uniform. Until you put the uniform on yourself.
You don't.
You be like, okay.
It's different.
You know how it is.
Right.
And
right.
I can tell you as much about the military until you do that basic training. And for me, it was in Fort Sill during the summer and it was hot. You're not really going to know. So he's stepping foot on campus like, okay, like I was warned, but there's no way I would have thought it was this.
That's good. That's
good. You know what I'm
Dre.
saying?
That's good.
Because nothing could prepare you for it. So even, nothing could prepare you for it, no matter if Prime was your boy, because there's only so many people in his position. And to be honest, there was only one because he's close to Prime. No one else in the HBCU realm is probably going to tell him the authentic truth. because that's just unfortunate. That's not what we do. So he probably got primed and probably reached out to other folks, but he stepped foot in and was like, oh, wow, ain't no way.
That's real.
You know, he wasn't wrong at all. And once again, video is not going to lie. So you could even look at, you know, the pictures before Prime got there and the pictures after he left. It looked like two totally different schools.
That's real.
You know, too. So I'm sure if Ed's there for 3 years, you could look back and be like, look at there before Ed got there and look at after Ed leaves. His delivery may not be the best, but to me, that folks just being sensitive. I don't have a problem with it at all. As long as the job get done, because when he fixed everything, hey, they gonna praise him, and if he wins, because he still got to do that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, one more thing I would get out: when you're dealing with folks who got money, you cannot shut them up.
Come on.
You know, Prime got millions, Ed got millions. You can't, man, both of them can retire right now and be good. So when you got multi-millions, you can't shut up somebody who got multi-millions. Tens of millions. We talking about no 3, 4, 5 million. You can't shut them up. So they're going to say what they want. You just got to deal with it, and folks just got to get their stuff in order.
Absolutely. Appreciate the call, Dre. Hey, that's a bar. All right, that's a bar. I'm gonna go. Listen, the call line's gonna be open. I'm getting to everybody. I promise you. Stay on the line. I'm gonna get to everybody. After David, I'm gonna talk about his apology. Monty, then David. What's up, Monty?
Hey, what up, Scotty? Happy MLK Day to you. Thank you for playing that song and dropping that history on folks about the brother Stevie while he wrote that song for brother Martin.
Appreciate it. No problem, Monty. Thank you.
So here's the thing. Y'all had Martin, who was prime, and y'all didn't like him. Now y'all got Malcolm, which is Ed.
Oh, I gotta get where you're going. Like, you know, that ain't bad. That ain't so bad. Oh, okay, all right.
And you use the key word. See, Dion was very tactful the way he was doing. He came in video, keeping the receipts, showing, because just like some people in the chat right now, oh, you need to fire him. Well, he ain't even got hired yet. And he may be fired before he get hired because, once again, like you said, you didn't know it was that bad until you actually get there and say, oh, it's bad. I just walked in the Fair East Side House now. And what's going on? So y'all got a real one. Now, hopefully, on the flip side, Ed doing this can be like, hey, I need the help. Hey, holler at his former boss over at the Baltimore Ravens who got billions. You know, hey, I just showed y'all the field, what the track people got. How they gonna win some races on this? That thing looks older than my high school field. And we didn't have a new one 10 times since I graduated 30 years ago. Let's get this done. So, you know, people don't like exposing, but the BS is the BS. And you said this, Scotty, when you first came in, and people want to always push back. As HBCUs, as much as we think we love football and football fans, we are not. Because we would not have the facilities and the money will be invested in the programs. We love the band and we halfway support the band, and I was in the band. We don't support the bands like we should, who actually keep the people coming to the football games. So Prime did something when he did come in the HBCU world. He did make it about football. And I'm going to jump off after this. Another brother who I sent you a video earlier, Scotty, who was dropping some nuggets, was Uncle Luke in that whole Florida thing as well, in the HBCU thing. So that's all I got to say, brother.
No problem. Appreciate it, Monty. Hey, D-Lo Morgan, coming to you. Then David, he's a member, so he got to skip over you, David. I'm gonna come to you, David. What's up, Mr. Morgan? Talk to me.
Scotty, what's going on, family? Listen, man, I'm glad you did this show. People need to have an opportunity to voice their opinion because I've been hearing a lot of stuff on social media since this happened yesterday, and I was waiting on you to announce you was going to do something. The last caller was on point, and he kind of went in the direction I want to go, and I want to go more in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
The Malcolm and Martin analogy was perfect. Any of my Marvel heads, any of my comic book heads will tell you those characters in the Marvel series, Magneto and my man
X.
Charles Xavier was based off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, correct? So when you talk about Ed needing people to give him sponsorship dollars to help him, that video was a bad representation of him trying to do that. Because we all know once Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, he didn't have any support. And I felt like that's what Ed Reed did to himself yesterday, the cursing, the smoking a cigar. And I understand it. It's real. That's how a lot of us feel. And he was showing what was going on. I just think he went about it the wrong way. That's why I said what he said was true. You can see it. He wasn't lying at all. But it's as the old folks say, my grandma say, it's a time and place and a way that you do everything. And to me, that wasn't a good representation on how he should have did that. Now, here's another thing. The brother also said, I think it was you or him that just said, the Bashadi family, they are the ones that can really help him because I don't think Ed is going to have those resources like a Prime because Prime is like Dr. King. He's like Charles Xavier. He's nice. He smiles. Ed is, you know what I'm saying? He's a little bit more radical. So I don't think he's going to get that type of a following or those type of sponsors to help him. I think if the Bashadi family and Baltimore can help him out, that's going to be very, very crucial because that looks horrible, man. What we saw, and you absolutely correct. Deion did the same thing. Not only he didn't do this, and this is another thing that will spark your memory, Scotty. He only didn't do it at Jackson State when he showed the difference in the field. He also did it when he went to Valley, when he went to go see Willie Simmons, and he showed the facilities at Valley as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what my boy, I'm not Willie Simmons. This is what my boy Dancy's dealing with down here in Mississippi Delta and Valley. I mean, so you have to say, you know what, Ed Reed was correct with what he said, but his delivery was wrong, and how do we now move forward? The man's been working a week and a half and don't even have a contract. So that lets you know he's serious and wants to do the job, but he just wants y'all brothers and sisters to come correct so he can try to put his best foot forward and try to, move the program in the right direction.
No, I agree. I agree. I like I didn't even know about the comic book thing with Malcolm and Martin. That's dope. That's dope. I wish they would have made him black.
Look that up, man. Shout out to Stan Lee. He gave credit, man. A lot of that stuff came from us. He created Charles Xavier off of Dr. King, and Magneto was based off of Malcolm X. And a lot of those comics is based off of our history, and we don't even know that. And I always gave Stan Lee credit for that. So check that out, man. I can send you some stuff that really breaks it down. But man, Ed Reed was right. Delivery was just wrong, man. Keep up the great work, Scotty. We still rocking with you in Ohio,
man. I appreciate you, my boy. All right, David, coming to you. Hey, David, you live.
Hey, man, what's going on, Scotty?
What's goody?
Oh, man, all right. So, a couple things. First off, I understand he is not under contract. From what I understand, too, though, is that when you make the announcement, typically that means they already got an agreement in principle, hence why he's already on campus. Doesn't mean he necessarily signed a contract yet, but they might have already signed something with regards to an agreement in principle. So there might still be some level of lawyers involved where even Bethune can't pull out. Maybe he could pull out and vice versa, but something to that effect.
Yeah.
But I think other HBCUs outside of Bethune are probably furious because of the generalization. Because like you said, it isn't all of us. We're all not the same. We're not a monolith. And I feel like, and I think what makes it dangerous is that you're going to get a lot of hits. A lot of folks are going to see this. A lot of folks are going to see the videos more than they're going to see the apology that he posted at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of folks are going to see that. That's where the hits are going to be. That's what the data is going to show. And I agree about the tactfulness. There's definitely a better way to do it. I just feel like he has to have some level of ownership of the responsibility too for not knowing what he's walking into. Like yes, a company is always going to hype up their company about how great it is to work at X company.
Yeah.
But you as the employee have to know what you're getting into. Like, she kind of has to know. Even when he first took the job, I said, this would be great for Bethune if Ed Reed has the patience. Because there's a lot of things that's going on within that institution. It's a different scenario than Jackson. And I also said, I know we probably talked to Coach Prime, but I hope he doesn't try to make it comparable to Jackson.
Well, I'll say this though,
because
at the same time,
it's not.
Well, I'll say this, David. At the same time, I like the interview. I like what you said, the interview, because did he ask the right questions? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you go into an interview, they always say, "Do you have any questions?" And that is your opportunity to say, "Hey, what's the workflow like? What do you expect of me? You know, how is this? How is that?" That is put back on Ed Reed. Did you ask the right questions? Go ahead.
And that's my thing, man. Because and that's what I said last night on ACC Nightly. I'm like, guys, we're out here asking all these questions about why didn't Bethune do this? Why didn't Bethune do that? I'm not trying to dissolve Bethune from anything by any stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, there's some level of due diligence that Ed has to do too. Like, and I start to question, does he take this gig because it's the opportunity that he has? We know he had a chance. We know he interviewed for the other gig that up in Morgan and things like that. And he probably had other opportunities, probably for other gigs as well. But I'm just saying I think you kind of got to ask those tough questions, man, to figure out what you're about to walk yourself into. So that's my thing. And I'm concerned that his tirade might have, like the previous call said, that tirade might have created a hit where he's going to probably have to dig himself out of it. I don't think this is going to be a situation where either party is going to walk away from this. And everybody says he doesn't need a coach, but it's obvious that I'm looking at the chat. It's obvious that he wants to. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said he wanted to do the job.
Yeah, and then he
wants to be a head coach. Obviously,
he wouldn't have made the emphasis that he's still going to stay if he didn't want to coach. So in the video as well. So yeah, I agree, Dave.
Yeah, it's just, so that's my thing. And the apology is probably sincere, and I know you're going to talk about the apology, but for me, it's like, all right, the apology is probably sincere, but it's not enough to fix all the damage that was created, and that's what it boils down to for me. And good luck to Bethune.
All right, good luck, man.
All
right, bro. Appreciate the call. Let me pull up the apology real quick. All right. And this is what the apology says. It says, to my HBCU family and supporters. Well, he definitely didn't. To my BCU family and supporters, I regards to my social media and comments about the university staff and other institutions. I would like to sincerely apologize to all Bethune Cookman staff, students, and alumni for the lack of professionalism. My language and tone were unacceptable as a father, coach, and leader. My passion for our culture, betterment, and bringing our foundation up got the best of me, and I fell victim while engaging with antagonists on social media as well. I'm fully aware of the hardworking folks at our school who are also there, who are also fighting to make things better and more financially sound. I am encouraged from my communication with the AD, also the basketball coach, and our administration, and understand this, it's a work in progress. My passion is about getting and doing better, and that goes for me too. All right, Ed Reed apologizes. Now, let me ask you all this. Everybody, people on the call, people in the chat, that's not the right one. Does winning cure this? All right, that's the question. Does winning cure this? Because if anybody's a Cowboys fan, shout out to us. We're about to play tonight. Only game for playoff Monday night. Anyway, I'm going to ask you this. If anybody remembers when Michael Irvin got into his situation in court with the whole drugs, he comes back, he wins. Nobody cares anymore. I'm going to ask you all, does winning cure this? Does Ed Reed winning cure this? TG, coming to you.
What's good with you, Scotty?
What's goody?
Man, love the show, bro. You doing your thing. We got all these people watching. Can we get these likes up? Get these likes up, get them up. get the likes up. My man putting out this content, you having some good dialogue. It's not enough likes. Y'all just on here, not even clicking the like button. It don't take nothing. So do that first and foremost. Get the likes up. Secondly, man, I feel where you coming from. Though it's not all HBCUs, we don't need to play ourselves. It's majority of HBCUs. It's majority. We know that we have issues. And he may not have done his research as far as finding out what was really going on or asking the right questions. That's something that we won't know. We weren't there. That's something that we won't know. But, you know what I'm saying? People could say, oh, yeah, he's stating the fact that he ran right the right way. If I say, Scotty, the sky is blue, versus me saying, Scotty, the sky is effing blue, does that not make the sky blue? You know what I'm saying? Delivery. So you could say it's in the delivery, but a fact is a fact. Yeah, you might say, oh, he shouldn't have been cursing, he shouldn't have been doing that. A fact is a fact. Now, am I supposed to I gotta move in this manner because you're offended? Whose feelings are those? Who controls their effects? It might be the way I talk. This the way I say, sir, this is my lingo. You know what I'm saying? Just like a while back, Scott, when we talked about the Bama situation, you say Bama, it's just the way you was raised and the way you talk. Yep. It ain't like you throwing shade at nobody, but somebody getting offended, you know what I'm saying? You might say, oh yeah, apologize, but at the same token, the person that took the offense got to take a look and say, well, if I said this to Scotty, that means the same thing, but has a different, you know what I'm saying, a different word, Bama versus whatever, would Scotty get offended? Like, come on, man. If the sky is blue, would I say, hey, man, the sky is blue or the sky is effing blue? It's still blue.
It's still blue.
It's still blue.
Still blue.
So all I'm saying is the biggest takeaway is, and this ain't just for Bethune, this for all alumni, man, and other areas too. Because like I said, we could say it's not all HBCUs. It's not, but guess what is? The majority. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about these minor cases. We could talk about the ones that, are not doing so bad. That's cool and everything. But majority are, and there's a common thing of the majority who are doing bad. Alumni, can we give back? You know what I'm saying? Can we give back? People ain't even paying alumni dues, $50. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing to give back? You complain, but what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't really take offense to what he said. He apologized. I get, him having to apologize, all that kind of stuff, but he said what he said because it is what it is. Hey. Now, if you are an alumni of Bethune, how you gonna help him fix it?
Absolutely. Hey, appreciate the call, TG. Let me go. I'm gonna go 3751 and then Elvin. I thought I saw you on here. Elvin, definitely call back in. I know you're a member, so definitely call back in. But 3751 coming to you. Remember, if you're a member, put your last four in the chat. All right. If you're a member, put the last four in the chat so you can skip the line. All right. 3751 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's goody? Talk to me.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, man, the damage that's been done in that 60 seconds can't be undone, man. And I told you that Prime had done a disservice to HBCUs. Now his counterpart, Ed Reed, what they have done in the last 2 months have destroyed HBCUs more than it can help them. Prime and Ed have substantiated subconsciously every racist stereotype that they have put on black people over the years. Stereotypes like black people are lazy, they're corrupt, they're incompetent, they're no good. These type of stereotypes is what gets substantiated when niggas have a color purple spirit. That color purple spirit that said blacks are ugly, they're not good, they can never be good, man. This type of spirit, man, is unacceptable, man. And we can't accept it just because they're celebrities. You and I was in the military. From day one, we saw bullshit that we didn't like. But we didn't get on Instagram in boot camp and say, oh, I don't like this shit about the Marine Corps. I don't like this shit about the Army.
Man, you don't do that to no job. They wouldn't do it around white people if they had an opportunity. Man, you got kids that play at the University of Georgia that's taking up iPhone 101 for their classes. Kids in North Carolina that take up basket weaving, who can go to school for 4 years and can't read or write. That's goddamn corruption. You know what I'm saying? And we don't say anything. We know those niggas in Georgia ain't going to school, and we don't say anything, man. But when it comes to black people, you can always take shit on them. And I don't like that. I don't like anybody who shits on our people. Have a great day. God bless.
Man, that was strong. See, I listen, man. I like callers like that, but you got to give me a chance to ask a question back, right? Because it's really easy for you to get on here and express a narrative, and then I cannot ask you a question back because he first came in and says, I don't like when they shit on this and do that and call us this and call us that. So then I would have asked them, how would you have gone about it? How would, it's like this, right? I'll give a good example before I go. I'm going to go, Gabe, I'm coming to you, to Coach Green, you're next, right? I always give the example like this. Everybody wants to be a supervisor, and then you're put in the position, or I ask you, what would you have done as being the supervisor, and you don't have an answer, right? A lot of people in the chat talking about what they would or would not do, and then you're put in that position, and then you don't got the answer as well. So it's those type of situations. It's no problem that you can feel how you feel, right? There's no problem that at the end of the day you were. You're emotional. It's okay. It's okay. We all get a little emotional. Emotions make me cry sometimes. It's okay. But then I ask you, how would you have rectified the situation? How would you have gone into it? How would you have handled it? If you was in Ed Reed's, in his circle, in his council, how would you have counseled Ed Reed? Those are the real questions, all right? Gabe, coming to you. Hey, Gabe, you live.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's good here?
Okay, I say this, like you said, Brian did the same thing he did at Jackson State. He pointed out, everything that was wrong, but he did go back and, try to fix it. Now, and Ed Reed doing the same thing. Like I said, now I think my main thing is this right here. Now, when he sat up there and said, I don't know if I don't think you played this part yet, but when he sat up there and said, these motherfuckers didn't even have my goddamn office fixed, cleaned up when I got there. That right there took the cake for me. Okay, you upset, you don't like the way things going. Now you going and calling these folks out their names. I think that's where I think I draw the line with it. But other than that, he seems like he is there for however long he's gonna be, because he did say I should go, but I'm not. So I give him kudos for that. But like I said, my only thing is he got the name calling. That's all I got, man.
Gabe, okay, man. This is the thing that gets me when you guys nitpick words, right? It's the same thing when I say how I'm using it. You don't know the context. So just as emotional you can get about it, right? Hold on, I'm gonna have to mute you, Gabe, because you're bleeding back through. Just as emotional as you get about it, it's the same people on the opposite side that say that's not a big deal, right? So I can be like, man, this MFer right here, and I could be pointing to the street, I could be pointing at a dog, it could be anything, right? So MFers can mean a generalistic of people, right? It don't even gotta mean a particular person. It can just be like these Bamas, right? In general. I'm just speaking in general. Everybody, like, so I don't, man, that's, I think when you, for me, when you've been in the military,
okay,
and this is just me, I've been in the military, so I've heard those things, and it's something that you got to learn really quick, is to get the message. Listen to the message, not the messenger, or get what he's trying to say without getting offended by the words. But that's just me. People take stuff differently, but go ahead.
I get what you're saying because yeah, you're right. You know, sometimes man, these motherfuckers here. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I guess. You know, yeah. I guess the lack of tact with it. But now, previous callers that called in, that came with the Dr. King and Brother Malcolm. Yeah. That's a good narrative, but I get what you're saying, man. And, hey, this is a good show, and I'm gonna get on off here and keep watching.
Appreciate it. Listen, man, y'all Bamas, listen. I got something for everybody. I got something for everybody. You can be the same age playing college football, also being in the military. It's the same concept. It's the same. Are they not? You're 18 playing football and 18 going off to war. Is that not the same age? Are you not being led by another man? Are you not being led by older people in leadership? It's the exact same thing. So that's why I can say there's no specific age to be. You ain't going to be 24 and up to get into the military. 17, 18, 19-year-olds. They're all the same ages. So one is getting MF'd another way, another one's getting MF'd another way. It's no different. It's no different. Come on, man. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've been in the military. I've been in college. It is not. It is not. Unless you are fighting overseas, it literally is not. Jesus freaking Christ. Elvin, coming to you. And then Coach Green. What's up, El?
Hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? I got a few things, man. I want to address the people with the truth. Is that nobody's calling him a liar. We're not saying he's lying about anything. What we're saying is, man, let's do something different than airing out laundry on social media. That's not the only way to get stuff done. Like I didn't hear him say anything about Miami's shortcoming at all. He didn't say nothing. Like Dion is at Colorado. They ain't even had the money to pay Dion right away. We still ain't heard nothing about the contract. I haven't heard that they got the money set for his contract. But he's not on social media saying, "Hey man, they got me up here recruiting, doing all this work, and they ain't even got the money to pay me." Let's find something. Let's find another way. Talk to the right person. Let's find another way other than just going out on social media, airing out laundry. And for all these people like, "Oh, I'm staying with them," that's fine. You can. That's your opinion. But my thing is, let me come stay at your house for a week and film all the dirty laundry at your house, and then go on social media and film it out. I guarantee you'll be upset. I guarantee ain't nobody in this chat preaching that stuff that he preaching, saying that they with him. I guarantee if I come to your house for a week and air out your dirty relationship, your dirty laundry, that bathtub that ain't clean, the dishes that's in the sink, I guarantee you're going to be upset. Because I know my mama would be if I did it to her.
So my thing, hold up. You see, you're only telling one side. No. You only say. I love the analogy, but if you got to give in totality, right? If I come to if you come to my crib and you ask me, right? If you ask me, say, "Hey, Scotty, your crib clean?" Yeah, man, it's all right. You know, it ain't dirty. And then I get there and it's dirty. You're gonna be like, what the F? You told me you cleaned. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen Money Talks? Hold up. Have you seen Money Talks? When he's like, "This tub better be clean, dirty ass white boy." Like that's how you feel, right? So you got led under false pretenses, right? So some would say, let's just say some would say, right? So then you get, so you're like, "Hey, what you told me it was clean. You told me the tub wasn't gonna be dirty. I told you the downstairs tub wasn't gonna be dirty. I ain't tell you the upstairs tub was gonna be. Well, why I gotta ask about? Well, you didn't ask. You see what I'm saying? Now you're upset. Now you're getting more and more frustrated because now people are nitpicking the words that they use to get you in the door. So, yes, I agree with you to a certain extent. Nobody wants their stuff aired out, right? I agree with you wholeheartedly. But at the same time, people are going to be like, that's not what you told me. You told me this, or why didn't you tell me this when you could have told me about, you see what I'm saying? Then I'm under the notion of, this house ain't going to be the cleanest. So, I ain't going to do my boy like that. He did tell me, he ain't the cleanest kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it, P, but you can rebuttal.
I agree, but all I'm saying is, Scotty, if you tell me you stay like, okay, there's certain hoods in Houston where I'm from.
Yeah.
There's certain hoods. If a person tell me they stay in that hood, my thought process is already, okay, this might not be the cleanest area in the hood. You know what I'm saying? This might not be the cleanest area. So I'm already researching, like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? Now, if this was a rallying cry, Scotty, then to the BCU faithful, like, hey, look, I need all hands on deck. I need y'all to come out and help me clean this up. I need y'all to come out. I need the students, those of y'all who at school. See, that's how you bring together a community. That's how you bring together a university. Find other ways than just get on social media and bash, and then hit us with an apology because you realized that you was wrong. Like, come on, man. I just want us, our black coaches, to find. And this is another way, Scotty. This is another reason why we recycle coaches in HBCUs and SWACs, because they have the what's the word I'm looking for? They're used to dealing with the challenges and issues that come with coaching at an HBCU. They're used to. So that's why. I mean, it's a cop out. I ain't gonna lie. It's a cop out way. But that's why we recycle them though.
But
because they're used to.
You recycle them. I agree with you for the cop out, but they're also not going to step out. Why? Because that is a check, right? Let's be real. If I gave you $10 million today, you gonna walk into your job with your chest held high, just a little bit different. You're gonna walk into that job a little different, and all that little stuff that you would overlook. Hey man, why you ain't putting periods on this sentence, bro? You're going to move differently because you have a freedom, right? Those HBCU coaches can't move the same because they don't have the freedom and luxury of they don't got no FU money. They ain't got FU money. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody talking about Deion being shut down by Colorado, his bigger thing is his son. That's why he's quiet, because he's like, hey, my son need to be here so I can do what I can do to get him to the NFL. That's why he's more quiet than normal. That's just a heads up for that. But on the opposite side, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you have FU money, you just move a little differently, and there's a freedom to how you move. But go ahead. Last point. I got
one last thing, man. And it's like, how are you going to ask parents and kids to come now? Because all they're going to do is go back to the video. How you going to get parents and kids to come to BCU now? Like, you doing all this on social media. Like I just would rather see a different approach than just getting on there bashing HBCUs in a whole, or just Bethune by itself. Man, we all know they just got hit with a hurricane 4 months ago. Like, what you expect? I don't understand the angle. I don't understand what he's asking for. I mean, maybe they don't have the maintenance guys there, or maybe the maintenance guys are working on something else. You know what I'm saying? That's an academic school. The last I checked, that's not really a athletics landing spot. That's an academic school. So maybe they working on the academic building part first. I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs. But all I'm saying is, man, let's find another way than just getting on social media and bashing. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, appreciate the call, B. Hey, let me tell you if I was Ed Reed, how I would flip this thing, all right? I would flip it like this. You see the foolishness? Like, if he was coming to recruit my son to Bethune Cookman, he like, hey, Scotty, love the show, blah, blah, blah. He'd be like, you know why your son should come play for me? Because I'm not going to stand by and let stuff happen to him. If there's a problem that is going on at Bethune or at the institution, you can count on me to make sure it gets addressed and resolve. That's what I'm about. Solutions. I'm about solutions. I'm going to call it to the carpet. I'm going to be what it is. That's how I would flip it. If you think that was something, just watch what I do behind closed doors. That's how I would flip it. I ain't even going to hold you. That's exactly how I flip it. Coach Green, is he on here? Is he still on here? Coach Green, please do not be long. What's up?
Hey, that was a good attitude, bro. That's basically what Deion did. You know, he told them parents he's gonna take care of their kids. Your last caller talking about airing out people's laundry when you go to their house. A lot of people be capping on that part because 9 times out of 10, I know people that sit there and shit on somebody after they go by their house. They go tell all their friends, man, I went by such and such house and they had shit all in the corner.
That's facts. That's facts.
So people need to stop capping on that because people do this every day, air out dirty laundry. Now, and this is for my people that always claim they godly. This man apologized. How about you forgive him? You don't have to forget, but you can forgive him.
That's a bar.
Because Jesus knew who was about to do him wrong, and he knew the guy was going to do him wrong, but he forgave him.
That's facts.
So
you preaching.
So people need to not be over here and talk about, oh, I'm godly, but turn around and trying to throw the man away.
Come on.
How about you help the man? You supposed to have some solutions. You talk about you want solutions. How about y'all have some solutions and help the man and help him learn and get better?
That's fair. That's fair.
Because it's probably somebody in his ear because his parents went to Grambling, and it probably was in his ear. Then Larry Little probably got in his ear and be like, look, there's a better way to do things. You should not have done that. So he probably had the right people in his ear talking to him. So all these people need to stop. And we got a perfect example because these people over here talking about, the winning ain't gonna solve nothing. Deion said he said it better. He said it in better words, but Deion said all the exact same things he said. And when he won, all the JSU folks was right there. Oh yeah, he right. But now, when Deion left, now y'all upset, y'all emotional. So now y'all saying all this stuff about Deion, like how upset you with Deion now. But y'all was right there. What you call it? The Deion Bible or whatever you call it.
Yep, they sure was.
They was right there. They was right there.
They sure was.
So these people need to stop that. They need to keep that same energy.
They sure do.
But at the same time, HBCU is all about helping folks. Help this man get right. And then people, and this is my last thing and I'm done. And this is another thing people sit there are not going to sit there and talk about. Because all this other stuff he said in that video, he did say, how about you come out there and help me?
He said that.
Because everybody need to go to your school of how to handle these antagonists on social media. Because he just started ranting and going off, and at the same time say, how about you come out here and help me? But all that got forgot about because of all the other stuff he said. But I don't forget the guy. Now it's all about what he do after that.
They were doing a lot of forgiving. They were doing a lot of forgiving of Deion. I'm gonna just say that. No, I'm gonna just say that. They were doing,
you're right.
They were doing a lot of forgiving on Deion. Yeah. When he was talking about Grambling people falling out and they was leaving the game early, but there was it was heat strokes. He didn't apologize about that.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no Jackson State fans come out about it. Nah, but you know.
Oh, I had this though, because I know some Bethune Cookman people. They love what he did because all the bullshit with the board that you also talked about before. Because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that go on, and the people I know say they don't like some of the stuff that go on. And they love what he did. So I'm out.
I appreciate it, Coach.
You got anything else?
Nah, I'm good, bro.
All right.
I like that call, Coach Green. I like that call. Concise, to the point, and you hit him where it hurt. and you hit them where it hurt. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I made a public announcement early. It was a public announcement. If you a Jackson State fan, you have no right to talk.
I ain't got no win.
Shut the fuck. Shut. No. Oh shit. Say it again. Say something else. Oh. Say something else. Say something else, nigga.
Shut up. Don't say a mumbling word. You just got out of a cheating relationship. All right? Shut it up. Shut it up. All the overlooking y'all Bama. Dion cheating right in your face. And you overlooking it. Shut it up. Shut it up. All right, Rocky, coming to you. What's up, Rock?
Hey, what up, bro? But they may be cheating. Dion may have been cheating, you right. But ultimately, they with who they should have been with all along. So, it all worked out.
It was still a rebound.
You're right. It's still a rebound. This is what I want to say, man. The HBCU community really killed me, man. Right? Y'all talk about the years or decades of mismanagement and neglect that exists within the system, right? But yet when somebody's willing to air it out, y'all even criticize the dude for airing it out. So what is he supposed to do? Continue to be the abused child, act like one of the abused children that y'all act like? That's what y'all act like. Y'all been abused for so many years. When somebody mentions the abuse, y'all mad at the person for mentioning the abuse. If at the end of the day, he's trying to save y'all. Y'all don't even want to leave because y'all just so used to the abuse and don't want the abuse exposed, man. I just don't get it. And check this out. At the end of the day, this is what I believe. When it's time to play football, those wins and losses are going to be on his record, right? Because in my opinion, his brand is much bigger than Bethune-Cookman. They're going to be on his record. So he's setting the groundwork. He turned it down so that everything that Bethune-Cookman is at this point, he can build it back up and setting the right expectations. So y'all are not under any false misconception that he had a foundation to build upon. He's building it from scratch, and that's what he wants the situation to be. He wants you to understand that he's building it from scratch. And the third thing that he's doing for sure, he's letting the people know in the Bethune-Cookman family, he's not a go-along, get-along guy. He will cuss your motherfucking ass out if you get out of line or if you don't keep your goddamn word.
That's facts.
He letting you know. So all this decorum and be a nice guy and work with the community and all this kind of stuff, he letting you know straight off the bat. If you're not going to keep your word, if you're not about doing the work, stay away from me. Because I'm going to be upfront and in your face about it. And I think, again, the HBCU community don't like being outed. But the only reason people are listening to what Ed Reed is saying is because he's Ed Reed. If it was any other coach, they wouldn't even be paying attention to what he said. If it was Trey Oliver or one of them other dudes that grew up in the HBCU system or whatever and mentioned the field, we wouldn't be tuning in listening. We wouldn't be paying attention.
That's facts. That's facts.
And truth be told, his ass probably be gone by now if he had that attitude. But at the end of the day, you're talking about Ed Reed. Ed Reed gives Bethune-Cookman a certain level of clout and legitimacy that they can't afford or buy otherwise. I'm done, Scott. You got any questions for me? I'm out.
No, Rocky. Hey, appreciate it, man. Hey, text me after the show. I want to talk to you about something. Text me after the show.
All right, bet.
All right, bro. All right, listen. Mike and 9020, I'm coming to y'all. Hey, listen, if you are a female on the call lines, please let me know. I definitely like to hear from my ladies. If you are a female on the call line, member or no member, put your last four in the chat, and I'll kind of mix you in. I want to hear from some ladies, all right? If you're some ladies in the chat and you want to hear, and you about to call in, thanks, babe. Put your last four in the chat and call in. I'm going to try to skip around. 2-3. All right, I got you. I'm going to go 2-3-1-1, and then I'm going to go to you, Mike. and then 9020. All right, Miss Brandy, talk to me.
Okay, so my problem is that I think a lot of times we're looking in the past what HBCUs have done. I think there's a lot of individuals who are working at HBCUs who are trying to strengthen them. And then we have Ed doing what he did, when he was very emotional. He was the epitome of an emotional man, you know, came twice and embarrassed Bethune. Yes, Bethune has had their issues in the past, but my problem is this. He is a part of a leadership executive team. And I don't think that he really understands that his word holds weight, not only for HBCU alumni, but also for donors. Like, I mean, the key thing, corporations, he had no care at all. I think that that's something that we really have to keep in mind. And also students, like students we're not even talking about football students, but let's talk about academic students who want to go to the institution. Their peers are not going to want to be a part of this foolishness. And I think that that's what really needs to just be looked at. I think the key thing, here's my question for you. You continue to talk about military. Can you talk crazy in the military? No, Scotty, you cannot. And that's exactly what he did. In the military, you cannot make people look crazy. He made the leadership look crazy yesterday. As a college president, I don't want to have to be worrying about, is my coach going to talk crazy today? Do I need to get the chief of staff to make sure he doesn't, you know, say things crazy? Who has time for that? He's not even on staff yet, and he's talking crazy, not even on payroll. So I think that that's what just burns me up. I've worked at 2 HBCUs, and the key thing is when I'm trying to do the hard work, and then all of a sudden you feel like, okay, things are going well, and then something like this happens, and it just spoils the whole bunch. And we can't even defend ourselves, because it's kind of like, well, Ed Reed, he's right. He's only been there a week. So do you have any questions for me?
I do. I do. I love the example of, you know, you can't talk crazy in the military. But let me say this, though. This is where Ed Reed is like a war hero in the military, or a guy who's been deployed 5 or 6 times. There are things that he is going to be able to say that the normal soldier cannot say. So yes, I agree with you. No, you cannot talk crazy. But if you have the resume to back it up, yes, you can. And I've seen where, you know, younger captains or older sergeants, maybe like an E7 or an E8, or even a sergeant major, has talked crazy to a general, has talked crazy to a colonel because of his resume. So yes, I agree with you. It doesn't apply to everybody, but when you have the stats to back it up, you are allowed to move a different way. And Ed Reed is that person. You are allowed to move a different way. Granted, it's not fair.
Scotty,
hold on.
Let me just say this.
Hold on. Let me finish. I'm gonna get right back to you. It might not be fair, right? But it is true. Go ahead. That's my last little 2 seconds. From
military to military guy, there's going to be an understanding. From military to military guy, there's going to be an understanding. But there are many people who are on your platform right now, and many people who are on Twitter, and many people who are on the Twitter. There was a whole session last night who don't understand this HBCU experience. And if I have a donor who is interested in giving to Bethune, why do I have to explain what he's done in the past? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. It's a time and a place. Yeah, it's going to make sense on the football field, but there are some rooms where I want to bring Ed into that I need him to be able to flex. I need you to be able to be ready for whatever room. And I think the key thing is, especially at HBCUs, I don't want to be hand holding you. Can you handle this room? Can you be in this room? We don't have time for that at HBCUs. Now, I will say that there's better training that needs to be done. That's 100%. Number 2, I will agree. Going on your new job, you want everything to be right. This period, everyone wants that. But it's how he did it was a disgrace. It was so embarrassing. And especially, I'm even writing about this in my dissertation. It's kind of like, here we go again. Here we go again. So I'm done. It really frustrates me to no end.
Hold on. This Ms. Jackson, I love the fact that you call in, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad. But let me throw it back to you. You're hyper focusing on Ed Reed, but if you're a donor, right, who's been a part of Bethune, why would you feel comfortable donating to Bethune anyway when just a few years ago they almost lost their accreditation because of financial issues? So how do I trust the institution, let alone see you're hyper focusing on Ed Reed? Oh,
okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'll let you go.
All right.
I'll let you go. All right.
I'm gonna let you, okay.
You're hyper focusing on Ed Reed, but Bethune has had a systematic issue of dealing with things. So you can just say, hey, this is piling on top of Bethune's. Why would you pile on top of Bethune's already struggling issues? But let's not hyper focus like Ed Reed is the issue our donors wouldn't donate when Bethune has a track record of messing up finances.
I want to give an example, and then I want to make sure everyone else has an opportunity, but I just want to give an example. First, I'm going to lead with everyone has an opportunity in every institution, because I really believe in every institution has an opportunity to pull themselves up. Sweetbriar in Virginia, they were on the ins out. Their whole board and president was going to shut them down, but their alumni were able to bring them back up. So I see the same thing for Bethune as well. They have people who are working, and I know people personally who are at Bethune who are working to make sure that that institution is brought up. And the key thing is if we have one person in which, like you said, there are laser eyes who are looking at Bethune like, hey, this institution, may not deserve to have the opportunity to bring up. But if I have this person who's going to mess up what we've been all trying to do, it doesn't make sense. People have no choice. They're going to look at Ed. All I'm saying is Bethune has an opportunity to bring itself back up, whether it be in sports and also in academics and in fundraising. But if we have people who are going to be an eyesore, that does not help. And the key thing is people are at home this weekend. They have no choice but to look at Ed. You're trying to say, look at everything else. Look at the Board of Trustees members. I even looked at it in my own studies. I did a whole presentation, so I get what you're saying. But the key thing is we're trying to build this institution up. Ed's going to have to learn how to ebb and flow and still be himself. I think it's important for him to be real, but we're trying to build institutions up, and it does not help when people just want to. And here's the last thing I just want to say. He triggered alumni. I'm an HBCU. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't as if it was just kind of like, I'm just going to do this on the fly. He knew what he was doing. And Scotty, that he knew what he was doing. He knew what just happened with Deion Sanders. He knew that.
Okay.
So I'm done.
No. Let me. I'm gonna throw it back to you real quick. This is my
This
caveat.
is so scary doing this.
No. I listen. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just open dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, bro. You writing dissertations and stuff. I got a dissertation person calling now. I feel honored. So no, my thing is this though. I'm gonna give you two scenarios or kind of two examples or statements, however you want to look at it. I ain't graduate college, so I don't know how to pronounce. Let me stop. But no,
we can get you back in, but that's another story. All right.
Let me ask you this: if you were running a company, right, and you brought in a CFO that your board members didn't like, but he brings a pot of money you were not exposed to? Right. So you're going to turn off some people that you don't like because he's different. He's not what we're used to seeing. We don't like this type of approach. Right. But he does open you up to a lane in a finance that you were not there before. What do you do? Because if it's like, hey, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater, then you just throw everything away and you say, let's keep doing what we've been doing. And we'll figure it out. Or do you say, hey, let's give it a chance. He made a mistake. We've made plenty of mistakes. Let's see what this thing can be together. That's my first question to you. How do you see that?
I agree with you. I'm not saying that we should get rid of Ed. I'm not saying that in any shape or form.
Okay.
What I'm saying is now is that Bethune or you as the president and board of trustees, we may need to sit down and talk. We still want you to be you, because I don't want them to be fake. I don't want to be micromanaging. Who has time for that? But the key thing is that I would like to see, and I would like to show him the differences, and here's my question. I didn't hear you talk a whole lot at the University of Miami. It's so interesting how you feel so empowered to talk here at Bethune.
Yeah, I get
you. And so I as a leader would want to know, where's that coming from? And the key thing is we do have to realize there's a culture at HBCUs, whether people the culture, but we are a bit conservative. Research shows that we are a bit conservative. I think it's great to have him. He's a wild card. Let's bring him into this culture. But if you're messing with my money, where it's going to take away money from my dorms. And remember, you have to look at the leadership now. There's new leadership there now. There's new leadership at Bethune. How dare you take away my success of you trying to build up? And then this happens. I don't think that Bethune should go on a whole rampant and share to the world if they recommend him or not. And maybe they won't. Maybe they're just going to see, hey, let's just see how this weekend goes. It'll be done next week. But I want to make that clear. I don't think they should get rid of Ed, but I do think Ed needs to he needs to know his role. That's the final thing I want to say. Know your role. Know your role that you are the head coach. So you can bring yourself, you can flex, but there should be a way that you're doing it. Leverage your role.
I disagree.
There's a way that
I disagree. And this is why I disagree with you. And the reason I say this, if you're going to, let's say, Ms. Jackson, let's say you come to me and say, Scotty, I want you to be the voice of my podcast, right? But can you use some of your connections to make us grow? At that point in time, we are partners. It is no longer a boss and employee situation. Once you have stepped in my lane to use my contacts and my resources to grow your business, we are now partners. So no, you cannot have it both ways to say you're an employee, but please, as an employee, help me as much as possible to fix the stuff that's wrong with my institution. That it can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. You're either going to handle everything on your own and all you're going to ask of me is to coach football games, or you're going to ask for me to use my resources to help you grow. Negative. Nah, you can't have it both ways, Ms. Jackson.
We can agree to disagree, because I want to see you work at an institution, and then we can come back and talk about this. Because I do think that there can be a partnership, but you can't. You're still at a job, and I don't know why you're giving this man and a lot of people so much leverage to kind of be like, you should just. It's kind of as if Scotty, and I hate to say this, but it makes me feel like you kind of feel like Bethune should be happy that he's there, and that's not the case. I think that's what I'm feeling. You get what I'm saying? I feel it. You're kind of making it seem like, if you are taking my connection, I'm actually big, and that's what he was doing yesterday. I'm bigger than the system. I'm bigger, and this school should just be faithful. Oh, that I don't like that. I don't like it.
Well, no, Ms. Jackson, let me throw it like this. Well, if you feel you don't need me, then continue to do it without me. Like if you're that big and bad, right? If you're that big and bad and how you feeling, then do it without me. You don't need to hire me then, right? Because
Scotty, there's a realization. The man came.
Hold
to
up.
the school.
No, hold up, Ms. Jackson. Hold up. Ms. Jackson, hold up.
He's not leaving.
Hold on, Ms. Jackson.
He's not leaving.
No, hold on. I'm going by what you said. Listen to what you said. You said he feels like you're telling me that from what I'm saying, you feel that I'm saying he's bigger than the institution. His brand, yes, is bigger than Bethune's. I don't care how you want to flip it. It is. And the notoriety that Bethune is getting based off hiring Ed Reed is off of what? The back of Ed Reed. Now, does he not get this coaching job unless Bethune is giving it to him? Yes. Should he be grateful for that? Abso-freaking-lutely. But if you don't think this is a partnership, you are sadly mistaken. And I would tell Ed,
I would agree with you.
Okay, so what a partnership means is that you got to give and I got to give. It can't be Bethune just saying, nah, don't do this. Because I'll be like, really? So what about all my connections that's help you do this or help you do that? There has to be an understanding. And I'll tell Ed Reed this. If I was in this council, I would tell him straight up, do not allow any money that is donated to the football program to touch general funds in Bethune Cookman. Point blank, period. If you don't listen, if they can't agree to that, we not doing no business. We not doing no business. If the money I'm generating from my resources, I cannot tell where it goes, then we don't have an agreement. I will be out the door. Point blank, period. Because I can't trust Bethune because they can't do nothing right with it. Go ahead.
The last thing, and you're gonna stop saying that they can't do anything right because I'm gonna keep
I said
Bethune is doing great things, and they will continue to do great things. The last thing what I will say is this: maybe we have to look at research. You know, the key thing is that okay, the money that's coming in, maybe that's going to be restricted to his program. But if someone wants to do an unrestricted gift donation and it came through him, you know, I think we just need to look at restricted and unrestricted gifts. We got to look at, we still have to keep the lights on. And yes, you know, football and him coming will make a difference on the annual fund, on annual giving. So I do get what you're saying. You know, I do think we need to be more transparent of like where giving is going. And I feel like the leadership that they have now are going to make sure of that, doing that. But I would agree with you. It is a partnership, but I do think that there should be some boundaries. And I'm hoping that you will agree as well. There still has to be a boundary. He's still a staff member of the university. You know, so I do want to make sure that, and it's a private institution. This is not a public institution. So private institutions are able as well to do what they want. But like I said, just going back to what you said, this is a partnership. And that's what makes it all great, that it is a partnership. But
I love the call, Ms. Jackson. Thank you so much. Anytime.
All right. Okay.
All right, listen, I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on. I feel like Miss Jackson I feel like Bethune Cookman is a single mom with 3 kids, right? And you have a dad willing to take care of his kid, right? So Ed Reed got Bethune pregnant and got a baby with Bethune, right? But Bethune, the baby mama, wants you to take care of all 3 of her kids. You're like, hey, wait a minute. I had 1 kid with you. My responsibility is that kid. You was going to have to take care of the other kids regardless. So she talking about keep the lights on. You was going to have to keep the lights on regardless. You were going to have to fund the basketball program regardless. So don't try to take my McDonald's from my kid to feed your 3 kids. That's not happening. We not doing that. I'm taking care of my kid and my kid only. That's just my personal opinion. Hey, Mike, coming to you. Oh my goodness. Boy, these call lines is booming. Mike, where Mike at? Did Mike leave? Oh, my boy Mike left. All right. Hey, Jay, coming to you. What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's up, Captain? What's up, baby? Look, first of all, great show. Especially on MLK Day. So check this out. I think this conversation is like, man, it's really thought-provoking and intriguing as hell. So the first thing I'll say is this, man, we as African Americans, we're so emotionally charged that, you know what I'm saying, we kind of can't separate business from personal. You know what I mean? And so it's funny because looking at the Ed Reed outburst, I'll say this much. That's kind of Ed Reed. Would you not agree? I mean, I don't know
if you watch any of his, if you watch any of his like his football speeches, he's a super emotional guy. Super emotional.
Super emotional guy. So it's kind of like this, man. You can't go buy a pit bull especially to be a damn chihuahua.
That's fair.
Right? So I think you also got to look at the leadership to say, well, leadership for Bethune, first and foremost, man, did you guys have this conversation on the front end? Right?
All participants are on hold. All participants are off hold.
Did you have a conversation on the front end?
The conference has been locked.
To be fair, as a leader, imagine running a company and you sitting there at the house and all of a sudden your phone blowing up. You got these guys saying all this extra stuff on social media.
Yeah.
That kind of catches you off guard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think his delivery, I don't think his message was wrong. I think the delivery, you know what I'm saying, could be a little much because on the same aspect, we tag these kids' ass when they get on social media and do certain stuff, but we don't hold these damn adults accountable for what they do. So we got to hold these folks accountable to some degree. I'm going to be real with you. It's the same thing when Dion, when they beat Edward Waters' first game, instead of focusing on what? The positive of the team, he focused on what? Man, he stole my jewelry. They stole my jewelry. How the hell? So what it did was, if you looked on ESPN, if y'all remember, it didn't say Deion Sanders wins first game in Jackson State. It says Deion wins, the jewelry was stolen. So what did it do? It took the narrative and the focus point on the most important aspect of the game. So I think, man, when we talk about funding for HBCUs, we talk about this and that, man, it's tough because people bash you for not going to an HBCU. People have bashed me for not going to an HBCU, but I've never heard anybody bash me if I donate $2,000 to an HBCU.
That's fair.
You understand what I'm saying? So we got to pick a side, and I ain't mad at either one of them. My whole thing with the Deion play, you know, you saw Rick Ross, we saw Get the Kid, this lad running up and down the sideline. It's cool. Will they be there next year?
That's real.
Will they be there next year? Will they be? So Diddy got on stage, gave $1 million to Jackson State. That's dope. You gonna give $1 million to Bethune next year? Was it for the hype? See, we can't keep pimping. We can't keep pimping ourselves. At some point, man, if you go research the secrets on how to sell a Negro, I guarantee you all of this plays into it. I'm not speaking off emotion. I'm speaking facts. So at some point, we have to value our own and say, okay, look, we don't, and there's nothing against a Dion, there's nothing against a Reed or anybody. We don't need them to make us hype. We are hype. How much do you value yourself? Then the next question is, we got to stop bullshitting ourselves and say, okay, y'all, let's be real. Can we really recruit a 5-star athlete with a track field that looks like this?
Come on.
And a practice field that looks like that?
Come on.
Can we really recruit a 4- and 5-star athlete when we don't have medical staff and attention? On the flip, why does it take a Dion and an Ed Reed to call out our bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, we got to have, it's two parts to this. We got to have the conversations. I think you have what's called house conversations. You know how your mama told you, hey, bro, certain stuff you say stays in the house, don't go out the house. We have to have those. We have to have those conversations. We have to be accountable to it. And we can't be so damn sensitive about it, bro. You got to call it out. It is what it is. How do you fix it? If it's us fixing it by getting celebrity coaches here, because, hell, I'm sure Fred McNair could do the same thing.
If he spoke up, he absolutely could.
You say what?
If he spoke up, yeah, he absolutely could.
If he spoke up, but then on the flip, will we actually listen to him?
I think they would listen. He's like a staple. That's like asking somebody would South Carolina State not listen to Buddy Pugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you become a staple of a program, or the McNair name means so much in HBCU football that, yes, him saying something, it might not get ESPN news, it might not get national news, but in the HBCU world, oh, that's like dropping a little atomic bomb. If McNair came out and said Alcorn wasn't doing this and they stopped me from doing this and I couldn't get this, absolutely.
Yeah, I think for us with HBCUs, man, in general, we just got to have that real conversation. Like, to me, I would love for more of these, let's say, ADs to be very vocal and clear on what they need, right? So put it out there. Like, at the same sense of coaches, man, hey, this is our goal. This is what we're looking for. This is what we want to happen this year. This is how much money we need to get to this. And this is what's going to happen when we hit the goal.
Absolutely.
Let's be transparent.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, though, Jay. It's a lot of callers on here. I'm going to get to all you Bamas. All right, Mike, coming to you. I've been seeing. Here we go. What's up, Mike? Talk to me.
What's up with it, Scotty?
What's goody?
My bad, I hung up, man. My dad, let me tell you what just happened. My dad called me.
Uh-huh.
He said, what you doing? I said, I'm listening to Scotty. He said, what's going on? I said, Ed Reed did a whole bunch of snapping this weekend. he asked me, he said, what was he talking about? I didn't tell him the topic. I said, Dad, he just snapping about a whole bunch of stuff that's going on there at BCU. My dad said, hell, maybe it need to be said. And I was like, ooh, I was like, you're right, Dad. And I didn't even tell him what was going on or anything. And, you know, my dad is an HBCU alum, so he knows what's going on. But anyway, Scotty, my point is kind of like similar to the last caller. I'm not on Ed Reed's side. I'm not on BCU side. I'm kind of in the middle because it's a two-way street. My question is, Scotty, what is wrong with everyone being transparent? Like, I feel like when you first start negotiating with Ed Reed, it should have been the board, the basketball coach / AD, and Ed Reed. The school should have said, look, this is what we expect from you. This is what we need from you. What do you expect from us, and what do you need from us?
Yeah.
It's a two-way street, Scott. They should have just got on one page from the get-go, being transparent about everything and everything that's going on, and all this wouldn't have happened. Because put it like Ed Reed snapping out. Like, you can get mad at him, but you can't get mad at him.
Yeah.
Because I'm a DJ. Okay, if I'm at your venue, the turntable is broke. Okay, I'm gonna go to the manager. Hey, bro, the turntable's broke, bro. Okay, cool. If I come back next week, bro, and them same turntables broke, I'm snapping the fuck out, Scotty. For real. I'm snapping out because I told you the turntable is broke. I need these turntables to do my job effectively. I come back the next week, it's still broke. Bro, that's like you spitting in my face and telling me it's raining.
Yeah.
Come on now, fix it. So in a certain sense, you can't get mad at Ed, but some people say the way you handle it, okay, but if anybody know Ed Reed, there's Ed Reed, bro. If you ever seen any of his halftime speeches, anytime he talking to his teammate, trying to prep up the team, there's him. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. He's going to give it to you straight, raw, and uncut.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, it hurts me to agree with a Jackson State fan right here because we know that you just got out of a very tumultuous relationship, but you can kind of understand.
I wanted to bring that up because Scotty, because you seen how the whole Dion thing played out. So Bethune Cookman, that should give you a reason to sit Ed Reed down and both sides have an understanding about everything and be transparent about everything.
Yeah.
Like that Dion situation should have told you that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything, Mike, before I let you go?
Nah, that's all I got to say, Scott.
I appreciate it, man. 1066 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's it?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Man, chilling. What's good?
Hey, so here's my issue with a part of what's going on here. At what point does a black man have the right to speak his mind? You know, now I'm not gonna get up here and start talking about deployments and rank and all of that stuff, but I've done both. I played college ball. I just came off deployment. Sometimes you come into an organization and it's trash, and they know it. But instead of looking in the mirror and say, hey, you know what? We need to get ourselves together. You need somebody to sit up there and put a foot in them and say, hey, no, this is the way we're going. This is the way we're doing things. And if you don't like it, I'm going to say something about it. Now, you're not always going to get away with that. Yeah, I get it. I understand some of the talking points, but at some point, you need to do your job. It's as simple as that. Do your job. I mean, I watched the video. I mean, man, okay, the track, all right, that's a facilities issue. I get that, but the fencing, you can't tie back up fencing, and you got the fencing on hand. He's asking you to put up fencing, and you can't take the 2 hours to accomplish that task. You can't be serious. If he's asking you to, hey, you know what, I'm going to be moving on X date. Can you have the offices cleaned up and ready for us for move-in? That's not a hard ask. Okay.
I'll say
And then
this.
now you got people, huh?
I'll say this, and I gotta keep it a buck. Somebody made a great point in the spaces last night. They said, if he hasn't officially signed his contract, who's to say that they knew he was coming into his office? You get what I'm saying? So, it's like the FAMU AD. She was hired in December, but she didn't come. Her first day wasn't until January 4th or something like that. Well, maybe they had an office prepared on January. You get what I'm saying? So
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But let me.
Yeah.
There is such a thing as a soft moving.
There you go.
There's such a thing. There's a such thing as a soft moving. And the old regime moved out. A point of emphasis should be cleaning up the facilities, cleaning up the offices, and having them prepared for the arrival of your new staff. Okay? Now, there is order and control of systems in every university. No different than the military. You can't tell me that facilities and maintenance personnel did not know that they were having an NFL Hall of Famer, multimillionaire, big name person coming onto their campus, and that wasn't a priority. Okay? Let's stop kidding ourselves. Our universities are in trouble. Mainly because we can't even do the small things right. I graduated from an HBCU. I don't have a problem saying it. I get back to my university. I went to an alumni event the other day. We're sitting there talking. I pay my alumni dues for the year. I'm talking to other people. Half of them didn't even pay their dues yet. They're not going to pay their dues. They're just going to be there. They're going to be there at the party. That's part of the problem. So all of this sensitivity, I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of people getting on here. Oh, he should have changed his tone. No, you know what? No, get with reality. Get with 2023 because, hey, it was 2022 last year. We're about business now. Do your job. Get in line. Get the business. You want him to come in and make you a household name? Do the little things he's asking you to do. I didn't hear anything on that whole tirade he went on. That was large. It was the little things, man. It's the attention to detail. And if you're sensitive over attention to detail, I mean, you shouldn't be in the same room with him.
All right, man. You got to wrap it up.
Because you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, land the plane for me.
All right, man. I'm out.
All right, man. Appreciate the call.
No, I mean.
Let me see what we got here. Bridges coming to you, then Mr. Campbell, then Mr. D. All right, Bridges, Mr. Campbell, then Mr. D. What's up, Bridges?
What's up, Scotty? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Talk to me. How does FAMU feel? Tell me how FAMU feels.
Being for real, bro, like I think that's the light that need to be struck. Because too many years from what I know, from what people been telling me on FAMU side, it's like, oh, the Florida Classic numbers are going down. Oh, the Florida Classic numbers are going down. This is happening. This is happening. This is happening. And I know FAMU, we have our share of bad stuff going on too. But at the end of the day, like, what is it going? What is going to take? Yeah. Like, for me, that's what it took. If Ed Reed and if football people, yes, that's how we respond to that as football people. If I'm a football person and Ed Reed snapped on me like that, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to get my shit together. All right, let's go. That's how I looked at it at first. But a common civilian, that could be like, oh my gosh, he's crazy. I don't think he should have a job just for him just to do this, which I did understand. I had to sit down, think about it, and talk to myself like, okay, I can see how people mistook that. It's a double-edged sword. Plus, he just need to hire Ray to be his mouthpiece because Ray can analyze and utilize words that that Ed can't. So he probably need to hire Ray for a part-time mouthpiece or something, you know, like how Key and Peele did. But besides from that, I agree with Ed. It's been a long time coming. Then this is the thing, just like you said, alumni people don't even pay the alumni fees. What about the kids that don't even have a meal? People can't even give $20 for a student athlete to have a meal. People can't even come on campus to help out. It don't take much to help out. Oh, Ed, what you need me to do? You need to cut this grass. I got you, Ed. Oh, I know a fencing company. They could put this fence right up. What else you need me to do, Ed? Like, if you're a community, you're supposed to be helping the community and helping the school. But has anything been done on that campus since the hurricane? I don't know. But as far as what it's looking like, it looked like nothing has been done. And nobody in the community is helping Bethune Cookman. Because I know if something like that happened to fam, I know if Coach Willie asked, hey, this weekend I need all hands on deck, help out FAMU to get this campus straight, I know I'm 9 times in 10, I'm going to try to be there. I'm going to get the message out. I'm going to send money so stuff can get better. We as a Black community has to put our money where our mouth is. We spend $100 on food, and we spend $1,000 on tailgate. We spend $1,000 traveling, going back and forth on homecoming. Why we can't even give $20 for a kid that can eat a Chick-fil-A meal so he on the road? Why we can't do that? And now everybody quiet. Oh, I don't know. It's just $20. It's just $20. It's almost like 300, 400 athletes. If 400 people give $20 just for a meal, that'll make their day.
Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
I'm glad just he called out the bluff. That's what I'm going with, because a lot of people don't like the bluff called out, but I'm glad he called it out.
Because I'm like, okay. So my question, my throwback is, how did we get on $20 meals? I'm like, what?
Because it's a part of that. It's part of the school. It's part of the athletics. It's a part of everything. We need to give back. We're not giving back.
Listen, there's only so much giving back you're going to get from HBCUs and PWIs in general, right? Because one, your numbers don't compete with PWIs, so that's just sheer numbers, right? It's only so, like, even if you look at PWIs, most of their money does not come from donations. It comes from TV money, media money, contract money, right? So yes, I get it, especially Bethune being a private institution, that they don't get state funding. So they definitely have to lean more on their alumni than most institutions. But at the same time, it's, hey, we got to start putting things in place to make money in other ways. You got to learn how to make more money in different ways and different avenues. But hey, man, appreciate the call though, Bridges.
All right,
man. I was like, where are we going? I felt like when you riding on the street and somebody make it like, where are we going? Like I thought we was going to Chick-fil-A. Where are you taking me? I was like, where is this headed? Mr. Campbell, then Mr. D. What's up, Mr. Campbell?
Man, you had me cracking up. Okay, man, listen, I'm gonna try to get through a lot of these points, but I need for everybody to stop this cap about language don't matter. And I'm gonna use you, Scott, as an example. You got a business. If you went on Roland Martin and said MF this, MF that, you ain't gonna be on Roland Martin. If I come on here, I sponsor JSU, the Queens from JSU, and you ran that video. And if I came on here and I said, boy, JSU got some bad bees, them Queens some bad bees, JSU would not talk to me anymore. So y'all need to stop acting like language does not matter in a professional setting. Don't go there. Because let me call in your job and say, I'm looking for this MF Scotty and see what happens. So y'all need to cut that crap. So let's get back to Bethune. This is 80% Bethune Cookman's fault and 20% Ed. Because let's get the timeline. They allegedly they announced that they hired Ed a month ago. Why was that? I was hoping for recruiting, right? Because the recruiting window had opened and Ed. But guess what happens? Bethune Cookman, what you should have done. You should have sat down with Ed and said, hey, Ed, listen, we a fine girl, but we got problems. We got problems over here. We got problems over there. Let's walk the campus together. Let me show you where we're lacking. Let me tell you that at Bethune Cookman, when the campus shuts down December, we don't come back until January. Let me let you know that the nursing building is not even open because of the hurricane. One of our main programs. So you worried about that football field, we trying to get the nursing building open. But I know this for a fact because my daughter works at Bethune Cookman. She got to wear a mask because the building she works in, they're trying to get mold out of that. So the problem with Bethune is they did not set the expectation to Ed right up front. This is the thing right up front that they should have set the expectation. And that's what the problem. So Ed gets down there and he looks around and stuff like that. This is where I had a problem with Ed. Ed, you got to go to the president because what they should have did is flip this. It should have been Ed and the president walking this whole thing. And he should have turned around and say, listen, I'm here with the president, the third interim president. And you guys see this? We need you all to make this better. Because I'm here to make this better. The president's supporting me. But look, y'all, the hurricane, because let me tell you guys something. Bethune is private. They don't get money like FAMU when the hurricane or Florida State. They got to wait. They got to figure out how to get that money. This is a fact. So all these people talking about what they know, Bethune Cookman, FAMU, when the hurricane hit, there is a fund for state schools automatically to come clean up the campuses. But Bethune does not have that same funding. Okay? So y'all need to stop because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But with Ed, you cannot use that type of link. You are a head coach. You are a leader of men. And I understand you're frustrated, but let me use an example of Kirby Smart. When you see Kirby Smart, go dogs, go dogs, go dogs. But I tell you what, behind the scenes, when Kirby did that little speech, he was cursing up like a sailor. Kirby didn't want that to get out. But you never see Kirby Smart lose that like that in the public face. And that's the difference. Because you got to think about this. We've been waiting for an Ed Reed press conference for a whole month, and this is the first public statement that we got from Ed.
Facts.
We've been waiting for a whole month. So now guess what happens when they finally have the press conference? I guess they could go, because Bethune probably went to Ed like, Ed, now you know we ain't got your money yet, dog, till the 15th. So can you hold off? You know we ain't got your money yet, dog, but can you hold off? So now when the press conference happens, guess what people are going to say? Ed, do you still feel like these motherfuckers ain't got your money? Do you feel that these motherfuckers ain't going to fix this fence? That's going to be the press conference. So this is what I'm saying, why you have to get on point with the administration and the coaches. This is what the whole problem with this whole thing is. But you go to the hey, what's up? Coach Reed, what do you think about these motherfuckers that you're working with now? This is what you see. This is the how idiotic this whole thing went down. And then I appreciate Ed apologizing and stuff like that because, again, everybody makes mistakes. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. So my thing is, man, Bethune Cookman, you should have sat that man down, said, we ain't got the money. We still trying to get the nursing building. Oh, we trying to get this. We're not going to have that. But we need you here to at least start recruiting. Because the thing about Ed Reed, he got 20 kids that would just come and they would never even be on the campus.
Facts.
They would just sign because Ed Reed offered them.
Yeah, just because of Ed Reed. Yep.
Just because of Ed Reed. Now look at what. So your first statement is your coach is cursing. He don't know Mary Brown Bethune's last name, I don't think, just yet. And he telling these mofos he don't need to be there. And then he weaponized, they ain't even gave me my contract yet. Y'all these mofos ain't paid me yet. That's a bad look, man. That is a bad look. So all I'm saying is they all need to step back and come out with a good press conference to say, hey, you know what? Because Ed, let me tell you one last thing. The facilities that Ed played with at the Orange Bowl and Miami were the worst in the Big East. That shit was trash. I was down there. But you know what Ed could have told his kids? Hey, man, in Miami, we didn't have the best facilities, but we won championships because it was all about the youth. He can flip that. The facilities didn't win Miami championships.
That's good.
I'm telling you, I know that. I was there with those guys. That shit was trash. But those guys with Coach Swayze, their strength coach, them boys worked every summer, and they pushed each other. Their little workout facility is smaller than some people's gyms. The Orange Bowl was trash. But I tell you what, they won 61 games at that joint. So Ed could have flipped that whole thing. He could have said, Bethune, I came from this. I know how to win without having great facilities. I come from that. We did it at Miami. So turn the thing into a positive. That's what Ed should have did. So you can't be emotional. You got to remember that you're a head coach and you are a leader of men. And I don't care what you say. As my man say, you always on when you the boss. You never are off when you the boss.
Oh, that's good.
Because people are going to hold you accountable every day when you the boss.
That's good.
Period. Point blank. All right, man, I'm out.
Appreciate it, Mr. Campbell. That's good. That's good. Hey, Mr. D, you next. Coming to you.
What's going on, Scotty? Just want to give a shout out to my boy, Steve Campbell. What's up, man? Hey, I just want to say it from a couple of perspectives. My family has a long breath relationship. The Strons had a long relationship at Bethune Cookman. My uncle was alumni national president for many years, and matter of fact, he and his wife has a part of the plaque down there right across by Mary Clyde Bethune statue. So I'm just say this: the school had to realize that they hired a change agent, and with the change agent comes a different way of thinking. And this is a marriage that just started, and that's what I think. I think it's not a partnership; it is a marriage that they are learning each other. Every comes from the business side, and then you dealing with the educator side. And those two, that's like oil and water, and it doesn't mix. And with the university, they need to work with him and be honest with him and really tell him, hey, this is what we need. And whatever they say they're going to do, they need to do it.
Facts.
Now, and that's the thing. And then on the Ed Reed side is he, as a change agent, he's not as smooth as Coach Prime or Ray Lewis. He's more upfront, in your face, and that would turn a lot of people off. But by this being his first coaching job, he is going to learn and take this as a learning experience and lessons learned and how to move forward and working with the school. Now, what I would have done was say, hey, and reached out to, hey, I'm looking for fencing companies, contractors, people to help the school out. What can you all do? Instead of saying, hey, oh, this wasn't done, and putting it out there like that. So you creating friction, and you still got to work within the university. So I just think that it's an unfortunate situation, but sometimes when you have this change agent involved with the schools, it's going to be some friction, but hopefully he will use this and move the school forward. So keep up the good work, Scotty. Holler at you later.
Appreciate it, Mr. Deep. All right, listen, I got 8 callers left. I'm going to get all you guys, and then we're going to get up out of here, all right? I'm going to get some people I haven't seen before. 7106 coming to you, then 8578, you're next, all right? 7106, then 8578. I call you live.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty, man? I like your show, man, and there's a lot of points that's been on here. This is straight from a BCC alum.
I wish you would have said that in the chat. I wish you would have said that in the chat. I would have came to you earlier, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Look, it needed to be said. Was it said the right way, the PC way? Nah, it wasn't. But here's the reality. Winter's going to change everything. We got a lot to get fixed up. I'm from South Florida. I'm from them days when the U was doing things down there in Miami. The man got a good heart. He might not have said it the right way for a lot of people, but we not worried about feelings. We worried about results right now. So everybody on here that's really riding with the Wildcat, y'all keep that in mind. This man don't need to go nowhere, and we all need to get up and support this man 1,000%.
I love it. Let me ask you this. When you heard what he said and then the backlash, where did you stand on it?
I knew it was coming, but I knew it needed to be said. I mean, that's the reality of it. We got to clean it up. We need to get our little public relation people to clean it up the right way for Ed and everything like that. That's going to get taken care of. Man, we need results. We need to get that classic back to bumping like it was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get that team back to bumping the way it was back in the day. It's a lot of history up there at Daytona. You know, Coach Little, sit down with him, talk to him. You know, let him know the history, get in his ear. You know, the right people get around him.
This is his first coaching opportunity, man. He's gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. But that don't mean to get rid of this man, act all crazy. People going crazy. Hey, man, we need results.
I love
that season last year was horrible. Our facilities and everything around there, hey, it's bad. And like some of your callers said, we are private. So I hope this makes some private donations get up off of there.
Come on.
You know, there's enough credibility that Ed Reed got out in the community that people aren't thinking about. Hey, man, let me get some money y'all way so we can take care of that. Wins the money make people forget.
Quickly.
Turn a lot of anger to smiles, you know? So,
quickly. Show enough will. Show enough will. But, hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Hey, man, we got some Wildcats in the building. Shout out to the Wildcats. Hey. Okay, shout out to the Wildcats in the building. 8578 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
How you doing, sir? Thank you for allowing me to be on the show.
Anytime.
I was just calling to touch. I'm calling to touch bases on some of these sensitive, weird people when they are attacking Ed Reed on how he addresses the black people, the black community, because I feel that's the only way that they're going to understand and receive the message. Because I know plenty of black mothers will embarrass you in public and let you know where you effed up at. And they don't care who's around. And there's a time and place, and that was the time and place because I'm a HBCU alumnus. I'm a military veteran. And they don't care about your feelings. Where you at?
Yo, that black mom.
They don't.
That black mom hit me so deep. That's real, bro. That is so real. That's so real.
So they need to get off this sensitive stuff. Mama gonna whip that butt, and that's what they just got their butt whipped. They just got a taste of it. Deion initiated the butt whipping. He's continuing the butt, and guess what? There's going to be another coach that's going to come right behind Ed Reed and do the same thing. Keep exposing what the dysfunction is going on within our HBCU system. That's why they denied Deion when he asked, I'll pay for it. Let me audit all HBCUs. He was going to pay for that. But what did they do? They hightailed in the room because they want business as usual.
I get it. I get it.
So that's why I'm at with it, brother. I thank you and appreciate you for letting me speak.
Oh, anytime, sir. Thank you for the call. Listen, man, there's always, listen, guys, you got to see it as a balance, right? There has to be some type of balance. There has to be some accountability. And I know a lot of people love to say, Scotty, we're not opposed to accountability. You're a liar. You're a liar, okay? You're a liar. Not all people like accountability. Not all people like criticism, right? Especially when you're not used to it. If you've been in a family, thank you, God. If you've been involved in a family that all they do is minimalize, right? Or they brush it off, or they sweep it under the rug, and then you get out in the real world and they be like, bro, you stink. You can't dress. Your shape up is trash, right? You're thinking they're being mean. No, they're just being real. Now, you might not like the way they said it, but it's facts. You can't dress. You do stink. Your shape up is messed up. I'm telling you. I used to tell my kids this, and my mom used to say this. The biggest people that will change you are your peers, right? Your mom can tell you something, hey, right? But when you go to school, when you go to class, and your homeboy or your homegirl say, why you do that? Who does that? It makes you think about it a little differently. So what I'm saying to y'all is this. I'm not saying that, within within your realm of each other, that you guys don't clown each other and make fun of each other and all that great and dandy. But it doesn't hit as hard until somebody outside of that, right? Because they'll be like, well, they love me, you know, but the people outside, they don't love you. They just tell you what they see. And sometimes it can be hard. It can be hard to take that, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't say it with the love and care that, you know, said school does. But it is what it is. Let me see. 5803 coming to you. 5803 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Yeah, this is Deontay. Yeah, this is Deontay from Charlotte. What's up?
What's up, man? Talk to me.
Man, all right. So I'm gonna preface this by saying I went to an HBCU. Met my wife at an HBCU, North Carolina Central.
Okay.
So, and I worked in sports. I was a manager for the basketball team while I was there.
Okay.
So I've seen a whole lot of the insides and how this stuff works. And what's killing me about people complaining about the way he said it is that y'all know what he said is true. Like, and then people keep saying, oh, he didn't go to an HBCU, so he don't know how it is or how we run things. And that's the problem. That's the problem, because people who used to that system just fall in line and nothing gets changed. So it looked like that, how he seen it on the video. Like, y'all, like, bro, like, people got to grow up. Like, people who went to HBCUs got to grow up. Like, everything can't be in your feelings, and you can't expect for these 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds to want to come to your school that's 3, 4, and 5 stars when y'all facilities look like that.
Yeah.
It's unreal. And then they complain about not getting funding when one of the best ways to get your school funding is a winning football program. It's one of the best and easiest ways to do that. Like you said, a lot of PWIs get TV contracts. All that stuff comes from sports. So if you put the time and the effort into sports, that can go to a whole lot of other places. But I don't know why people just keep getting their feelings every single time somebody like Dion or now Ed Reed point out the little stuff, like practice fields. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna have a football team bring in money and you don't even have a field to practice on?
Or that's safe to practice on.
Exactly. But they keep saying, oh, well, that's just not the way we do things. That's the problem. And when I was at Central, we had people up in administrative. I think we had like two high administrators steal money. I know that goes on at a whole lot of other HBCUs, but nobody want to say that. And then when somebody say it, it's like, oh, like somebody like you or like Eric, oh, you didn't go to an HBCU, so you can't. Like, bro, that's the problem. Like, part of the problem is how this stuff is ran. And sometimes people need to come in from the outside and be like, yo, y'all running this like trash. Like, this is trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't run a corporation like this. And not saying that Central was ran bad. Like, as far as athletics go, when I was there, I'd say it's probably better than most. But as somebody who worked in the inside of it and seen a lot of stuff up close, was in the room on a lot of them conversations, like, stuff can get better. Stuff needs to be ran better.
That's facts. That at the end of the day, that's all people want. That is all people want. Hey, man.
Yeah, man. I just want people. Like I said, I ain't go to BC, but I did go to a HBCU, and like, just people who went there just need to come out of their feelings real quick. And then I know a lot of y'all refund checks ain't get to y'all on time. Y'all had to wait half a semester. Like, I know y'all went through stuff like that. So stop taking it like it's a shot, like at you personally, and just remember back on, how stuff was when you was on campus, and you seen a whole lot of that.
That's facts, man. I appreciate the phone call, bro. Real talk. Hey, thank you, Mr. Campbell. You know what I'm saying? I could be in here saying, see you, I mean, Claflin don't do see you, but they do, whatever Claflin does. But then he went for a semester, and he be up in here HUing, you know what I'm saying? And when I get big and famous, Claflin gonna claim me, okay? Claflin will claim me. Stop playing with me, man. Stop playing. Actually, Claflin is ranked the third highest HBCU in the streets or something like that. Something like that shit. All right, 5289 coming to you. My last two callers, 9097 and 3418. Those are my last. I'm going to go 5289, 9097, and 3418. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, Scotty, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you
Hey, how you doing, man? This is Rico Wright calling you from California, man.
Talk to me.
Born and raised in Daytona Beach.
Oh man.
My wife's a wildcat and I'm a rattler. So we both grew up right off of 2nd Avenue, man. So we know a lot about Bethune Cookman. We got bloodlines to both schools. So yeah, man. Retired E7 too, Master Sergeant Air Force.
Boy, you hitting all streams. you hitting all points.
Because you've been talking and touching on all bases too, and we've been having vets call on and everything. And as far as Mr. Campbell, I agree with my brother 100%, man. As far as what he was saying, this entire situation with Coach Ed Reed, man. I ain't saying Coach Kane because he was walking past Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune's statue. I saw in that video, and he saw the cane. He said, "Miss Mary," you know. Man, it's just a lot that Ed got to learn about the history of Bethune Cookman and everything. I mean, with the athletic director being a former NBA player, Reggie Thiz, who actually came from Cal State Northridge out here in California before he came to Bethune Cookman. You know, in his apology, he said he had an opportunity to speak with the AD and everything. I think Ed realizes that he went too far with his messaging. You know, I'm not going to say he wasn't frustrated. Obviously, he was frustrated. And he let his emotions come out on social media. Mm-hmm. And he even said, that's why I don't even like doing this social media stuff. Yep. You know? So it was just a brother expressing himself, man, like a lot of actually men. I won't say black men. I'm a black man, so, man, but, you know, I work with all type of men in the military and everything, but just men in general. He was expressing himself outwardly, and he put it on blast, and he showed it to the world. You know, he's not as polished as Coach Prime. He refers to either Uncle Luke or maybe Prime as Unc, you know, but saying that it was right. All of that was just part of his frustration, man. I'm not trying to make any excuses for Ed because I still believe that you are a professional. You know, you're in a professional position now as a head coach. Bethune Cookman is giving you this opportunity to do it. Now, the very next day, you got to backtrack and issue out an apology. You know, so you're just learning, bro. You about to learn, and you against the ropes right now. But I hope the best for Ed Reed. I hope that he will reach out to the community, like someone else said, you know, as far as the fencing and everything like that. But man, Daytona Beach, Volusia County, we got a high school, my alumni high school, been to the playoffs like 30 years in a row. Woo! We got a lot of great talent right there at Daytona Beach Mainland High School. The the AD of the high school is a former teammate of Coach Prime at Florida State. Okay? So Ed, just through his connections, and I know the mayor and everything of Daytona, man, who's also a Daytona Beach Mainland alum. He just got to connect and make those relations. Dion said that in one of his videos the other day when he was talking about relationships. He's just got to establish the right relationships with the people around there, get things cleaned up with Bethune Cookman and the alumni to get the support behind him. And then, of course, one of my good friends, her dad is Coach Larry, you know, Hall of Famer Coach Larry Little. Talk to the ones who really know the ins and outs. The former AD, Lynn Thompson, okay, whose family is famous. He's a graduate of Bethune Cookman. Talk to those people, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and get things on the right track for you and Bethune Cookman so you all can get back to being on top and competing with FAMU and doing your thing. I'm a rattler, you know, so I ain't gonna talk too much about, you know, them trying to, you know, the band is great. I mean, I'm a homeboy. I'm from Daytona, born and raised. I mean, so I just want the best for Bethune Cookman, man. I want to see them get back on top and compete in the SWAC because they are better than that, you know. And so that's all I got to say. Scotty, what you got for me, bro?
Let me ask you this. Do you think that Bethune Cookman, not Bethune Cookman, I'm sorry, do you think Ed Reed should reach back out to Brian Juice? You know what I'm saying? Because do you think he should bring him on staff because he knows the area? He's done well at Bethune. You know what I'm saying? Is that something that you think that would help, you know, him kind of navigate?
You talking about Jenkins, Coach Jenkins?
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean, the last I heard, wasn't he like at Alabama State? I think he was a head coach there, and then he was coaching somewhere else. I don't know where Jenkins is, right? Is it Edward Waters or somewhere?
I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. But I just thought, like, that last big run with Bethune, he was the helm of that. He kind of understands the network and how it moves.
He had FAMU's number too, man. So, I mean, yeah, I would say and his son, Jenkins' son, went right there to Daytona Beach, Maryland too. I believe he went there for high school before he went off into college. So, yeah, man, he should definitely do that, man. Definitely do that.
Okay. But overall, do you think that, let me ask you this, because your wife's a Wildcat. Do you think the board is
the former Lady Wildcat, I might add.
Former.
So yeah.
Oh man,
I got one of the baddest ones.
my man, $100,000. Do you think the board would be behind Ed Reed? And that's the thing. To me, anything I've heard from former alums of Bethune, they always go back to the board. Scotty, will the board? So do you think the board is behind Ed Reed?
Well, I think that, hey man, I'm prior military. So one of the biggest things that you have to do a lot of times is you have to get your immediate leadership right behind you. Like you have your supervisors and things like that. Right now, the AD is like his supervisor because that's the one who hired him. The president as well. You need to get these people behind you, because when it comes to having that discussion with the board, they're going to be the ones that's rallying and saying, hey, we need to continue this relationship. And even if he can have an opportunity to speak with the board, I don't know if that's something that can be done, because I used to have a relative that was on the board from the theology department. But what I said initially, that's what I think that he should do. He just needs to get that initial supervisory leadership behind him, supporting him, his chain of command, the AD, Reggie Thiers, and I don't know who the president is right now, because like everybody says, man, HBCUs, they have issues, especially with their financial aid and all that. My wife had issues back when she was in school, and issues since we left, and even before she got there. So yeah, it's just all HBCUs have those issues, but they just have to try to get that worked out.
I love it. I love it, man. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Follow me, man, at Poppy Suave, brother.
Poppy Suave. Is that Twitter? Or was that?
That's on IG.
IG. All right. Follow me and I'll follow you back.
All right. I think I already follow you, man. You just got to hit me back.
All right. Too easy. I got you.
All right, man. God bless.
Man. You too, man.
Peace.
All right. Last two callers. All right. Let's get it. 9097 coming to you, and then Alman coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's goody? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Glenn from Virginia.
Talk to me.
Yeah, a couple of points. I think I'm a military veteran as well. And I think one of the main things we learned in the military is chain of command. And I think that that was missed with his rant, meaning that, it was alluded to earlier. You should have talked to Reggie Thiers and got a big understanding, a clear understanding on what was happening on the yard, what needed to be fixed, and so forth, as well as if it was a leadership he needed to talk to as well, to just get an overall what his job will entail, instead of, coming straight out with it. At least would have had that conversation first, and he could say, hey, I talked to the AD and the president or the, board, and they just didn't get the job done, instead of, coming out with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm an HBCU graduate, so I'm sure what he's saying and so it's true. But I think that there's just ways to handle that type of thing. At least have the conversation first. And for me, some things you can do yourself behind the scenes, and then if it continues, then you expose it. But I think so first, that's that military chain of command. Secondly, I'm a son of, my father was a head football coach in HBCU, and when he first went to the school he went to as a head coach, was everything right? No. But did he, go to the media? He didn't have social media at that time, but did he go to the local media and complain about it? No. He tried to leverage the people that he knew in the community, to get things done. And that school now is in the top 20 as far as facility, you know, for the size of that school is. So the point being is that, you know, some cases you have to get there and just, you know, leverage the people that you know to make it happen. But then the third point is, I think we are making the mistake of equating Ed Reed to Deion Sanders in just by the fact that they're NFL players. But they're two separate people in the standpoint of Deion leverage. He has Barstool Sports. He has Under Armour. He has all of these commercials. He's a media mogul. Ed Reed is not. But we pretty much try to equate them to say that they're the same type person. Ed Reed is going to have to either get some type of social networking one-on-one course and get on social, you know, network and learn how to do it right, or he has to get somebody to be a good PR person because, you know, in this day and age with all of this social media, which is a double-edged sword now, it can hurt him like it just did. I wish him well, though, and I hope he, you know, everything turns out right. But I think he needs to talk to Reggie Theus, you know, as the AD to kind of clear things up and make sure it gets right. You have any questions?
Nope, I do not, man. I appreciate the call, though, bro. Man, listen, bro. Man, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a good day for me if the Cowboys lose today. It really is not. It really is not. 3418 coming to you. What's up, Armand? Talk to me.
Scotty, what's up, baby?
What's goody?
What's up, baby?
What's up, man?
Couple points. I think the thing is, Ed Reed was right. We can just toss it out the window. He was right. Now, the one thing you can always say about people when they in powers of position.
The conference has been unlocked.
And I think he said the right thing. It's just he said it, you know, not out of context, but dang on, he pissed some people off. And it is what it is. Like,
yeah.
But the other thing about it is anger gets stuff done. Anger gets stuff done. If he ain't called them out and held them accountable immediately, guess what happened? That fence would have still had a hole in it and a few things. But also I want to say is, do these coaches not check the facilities when they get hired on?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know.
Because this is the second time we done had a coach come out of the blue and be like, man, the facilities is trash. They not up to par. They not this, they not that. And I'm sitting there going, bro, y'all ain't doing a walk around before y'all took the job. Like, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
The other thing, I mean, Deion did his stuff, and we trying to hold Ed Reed to the same thing. It's not going to happen. All Ed Reed needs to do is win, get these wins in, call it a day, and hopefully ball out. But one thing he can do, and hopefully he does this properly, he leverages his assets, his media, whatever he got. And if you need a new field, get a new field. Like, Deion did the same thing. Hopefully you can do that. If you need something better, something new, hopefully you can leverage your connection and just work it out. Other than that, he right. So, like, that's about it.
That's it, man.
Football is football.
Hey, it is what it is, bro. Hey, appreciate the call, man. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate it. Shutting these call lines down. I appreciate everybody that called in, especially Miss Jackson. You know, I like to get some more females on the call lines just to hear you all's opinions and things like that. I'm not tired. I just have a lot of stuff to do before the game starts up, so that's why I gotta get going. All right, listen. I want to have a Cowboys watch party. I really do, but I do not want you all to see my face if they lose. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. All right, I really want to have a Cowboys watch party, but I can't trust them to win, so I don't want to be on here looking stupid. Because if you listen, man, if you think Andrew Body losing made me feel some type of way, you don't even want to see what I look like when the Cowboys lose. Okay, so I don't want to be on here looking stupid. All right, but if they win. I'm gonna be on here talking some. I'm gonna be on here. I'm like, you mother boy. I'm gonna be on here talking mad smack. I'm here talking mad smack. But I'm just sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of losing, man. I'm so sick and tired of losing in the playoffs. All right, I'm so sick and tired of losing in the playoffs. Ugh, it is what it is. Hey guys, listen. I appreciate everybody who came on today. I think we had over 830 people at one point in time. All right, Hail Wildcat, shout out to Bethune, shout out to all the HBCU people, shout out to everybody who called in and everything like that. And shout out to you guys, man. Listen, we're gonna have the Afterglow show. We're gonna do the Afterglow show tomorrow at 7 or tomorrow at 8. All right, because I got some stuff to do. I wanted to knock this out. I didn't think it was gonna go this long. All right, I didn't know it was gonna go this long, but I like to get all the callers in as much as I can and hear you guys' opinions. All right. So that is what it is. Afterglow show will be tomorrow with Kofi. We're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about Ed again and whatever comes of that. All right. So listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.